That doesn't seem to be registering except our voices, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're
You
good.
could always do like a moment of silence and cut it out. Do like a noise removal or something.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Here. It's good.
So many unnecessary.
It's good.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Tangents Podcast, T3G Tangents, today with a very special guest. First, my name is Dalibor. This is Hottest. We are the ones that are usually here. This is our special guest, Mike Emirates. How you doing, sir?
Special
Good.
guest.
We're starting.
We
are starting. We are starting.
We just go.
We just go at it. There's no stopping.
Yeah.
All right.
T3G
So,
tangents.
T3G Tangents.
What does tangents mean, Dalibor?
Listen, Google it.
Listen, Google's a thing. Google if you need to know what it means.
If you don't know what a tangent is, maybe you probably shouldn't be listening to
I
this.
know, right?
It's probably not going to be an enjoyable experience for you.
Why did you click on something called tangents if you don't know what it means?
Right? Exactly. I'm saying. This is your first experience
Here we
of this.
go.
This is how we do our.
This is how we know nobody watches our podcast.
Yeah, right. Because they don't know
I
how.
was like, what the fuck is this?
This is how ridiculous it gets. It's
It's
absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
It gets
But we
dumb.
love
It
it.
gets dumb.
That's
So what we do usually is we start with a couple topics, 2-3 topics, and then just whatever happens.
yeah. Wherever we go from
wherever
there.
it goes, and
Okay.
there's always
Yeah.
tangents and diversions and all
Quite
that
a
stuff.
few with each topic.
Almost always.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna try to rein it in because there is a lot to discuss. First, we're gonna talk about Spider-Man: Far From Home, kind of a little bit more at depth. We talked a little bit.
Spoilers
about,
alert, just in case.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
don't know,
If you don't
you know now.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
For some reason, you're listening to podcasts. And
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of the San Diego Comic-Con announcements by Marvel specifically, and then DC to a point because DC was
irrelevant.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's pretty
irrelevant.
much
So
what
basically
that is.
irrelevant.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that's about. And then we're also going to talk about. We did a little bit. I don't know how much you. We actually spent some time on the way. Oh, again.
Doesn't like it. Doesn't
No,
like
it's not even that hot. I hate it. I don't know. It doesn't like the card or something. It doesn't like something. It always doesn't like something.
Yeah, it doesn't like it.
That's why we have redundancy audio and video.
And there's that.
That battery's about to die. However, that I do have a swap for that.
Hey, there you go.
Look at that. On demand.
Oh, these are the kind of batteries. I got some of these too someplace. They're all in that bin.
Yeah, tiny
I was like, I got 40
batteries,
of
but they
these.
were.
I was like, I got 40 of these. Why? Because. Yeah, so let's start off with Spider-Man Far From Home because I feel like that's going to probably be the easiest conversation to have.
Yeah,
Fresh in the mind.
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't really have much to say except tons of fun.
Yeah.
Like
Tons
it
of
was
fun. I
great
loved it.
movie. I was telling when I left the theater, I told my wife I was like, I was a big fan of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, especially in Amazing Spider-Man 2, just because
Yeah,
the way he
agreed.
was, where he was very animated and he was very like throwing out his
Spider-Man.
jokes while fighting. He was Spider-Man. And so I was very happy with that. However, I was not happy what they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2 with trying to make Harry Osborn best friend, not
That
best
never
friend.
existed.
I'm gonna kill you all in one movie.
Yeah.
Very, very extremely fast. But no, this movie was super fun, very well acted. I mean, without a doubt. And I love the little like that little moment where it's like you're exactly like Tony, like scene for scene, where he's making the stuff just like he did in
He's
Iron
like,
Man.
what? He's like, no, just reminded me of something.
Yeah, and so I love it. And there's a lot of behind the scenes that I watch, and so I follow Robert Downey Jr. on Instagram, and he posted one day. You could tell they have a deep relationship because they posted of them doing the hug that they do in, I don't know if it's Infinity War or Endgame, but he hugs him, and like there's this the scene is over with, but
Right.
Robert Downey Jr. is still hugging him, and like it's kind of like I think Downey really him and Holland really got attached as like really good friends, and he knew that he was going to be passing on this mantle to Holland, and so I think there was just like a lot of connection there. So it was really cool to see that, now we're starting with another actor, but very young compared to where Downey
Right.
started, to take on this long-time
Iron
role
Man,
of
role, yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully
So
that is some foreshadowing.
yeah,
To
yeah,
see
yeah.
that
That's
role, 'cause
yeah.
But
That's-
would it happen because of that mid credits?
I think so. I mean, that's to me, that's kind of starting to set up the Sinister Six, if you think about it, or any other time when Spider-Man's identity has been revealed, because it's happened a few times.
Sure.
Right.
And that's exciting. You know,
Yeah.
we've already got Mysterio. Who else could they bring in? You know, they've alluded to Scorpion. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's true.
We've seen
Yeah.
Shocker.
Can we talk about J.K. Simmons?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Can I tell you
That was
when I was
so
like,
cool.
of course, because who else can play JJ?
But
Yeah.
Who? Yeah, JJ himself.
But
Because
he's been revamped him though. He's kind of like an Alex Jones underground.
yeah,
news
he
guy.
obviously
It's kinda
doesn't have
cool.
that square do anymore. He's got the
Bold.
bold look going.
Totally.
So no, I love it. I'm glad. When I saw that, I just had a big old smile looking on my wife. I'm like, you're not realizing what's
Like,
happening
you don't
right
understand
now.
how awesome
Like this is so amazing that you don't even understand how amazing this is right now.
I said on the last podcast, I'm like, the best moment, because he was in public, right? Spider-Man caught that news with everyone else
Yeah.
in Times Square.
Yeah, he
basically.
literally just dropped off a girl that's in his class. So like he
Yeah.
can't even.
But you can even say that like he just saved her from something.
Right,
Like,
no,
there's ways
I
around
know.
that. But my thing was,
He did
as
say
soon,
this.
As soon as as soon as he says Spider-Man is Peter Parker, he should have just screamed out, "Who the hell is Peter Parker?" Because like they don't have that history of photos being taken. He could just distance himself from that right away.
Here's the thing, though. If I know Marvel at this point, what they've done with these movies, they're just gonna have him have his identity. They're not gonna mess around with this secret
I'm okay
identity
with that.
stuff. They're gonna do Iron Man set it off in the first movie. He's like, "Fuck it, I am Iron Man," and they're gonna.
I think pretty much everyone knows everyone's identity.
Yeah, and at this point it's like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Like he got me. Yeah, we'll go with it. Fuck it. What are you gonna get mad at me? I'm a teenager with superpowers. I'm trying to help you all.
But
Like,
like,
who are you gonna get mad at?
So you have May is protected by Foggy, which is such a weird situation.
Yeah.
It's so great. It's like so. I love that
what was
part.
that about?
I love the part at the end where he sits down. It's like so. How long has it been? How long have you been dating? He's like, oh, I don't know if we're dating. Like, or what do you say? Like, are you dating?
And Foggy says yes, and she says
Yeah, she's like, nah. It's like, yeah, it is.
He's
I
like, "Are
love
we?
that.
Are we?"
And he's like, I'm gonna go. That was great. That was hilarious. No, it was a great movie. I loved it. Comedy was good. I enjoyed everything about it. Even the like little, which obviously I didn't realize all the different costumes they kind of not introduced, but
They
like
teased when he was
teased
checking.
where it was
I was
until we
salty
watched
'cause
that
when
video.
When he did the hologram thing, that's the Iron Spider thing. Because even in the Iron Spider movie version, he has the gauntlet piece. So I was like, why isn't he wearing one of those?
Well, because he was
That
revamping it. He was working on it. So
I mean,
like,
that's fine, but like that could have, I feel, come in handy with the illusions.
Yeah.
I get it, but I think he was.
I don't know. Man.
You were watching
It's-
him utilize it, and then he was revamping it, and it's possibly what he had a smaller version on, like a really small one.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he revamped it to be small instead of this giant gauntlet. So
Could be.
that's kind of where I took that with. But no, I enjoyed it. I was really scared. I was really worried how they were going to do Mysterio, because Mysterio is all about like you not realizing this is a trick.
Yeah.
This is so. When I was watching it, I was like, okay, so he fooled everybody, but you still haven't shown me how this is tricked. But then, when Spider-Man figured it out, and he shows up, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This whole scenario where he doesn't know what's real and what's not is perfect. They nailed it.
Yeah, that was
whole
really cool.
Scene was incredible.
Yeah.
That reminded me a lot of comics.
Exactly.
Very iconic
As
imagery,
soon as it did it, I was like,
abstract,
this is
surreal,
right out of the
so
pages.
cool. Yeah.
Right
That
out of the
one,
pages.
with Mysterio and then the big globe with Spider-Man in it, that could have been a cover.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
100%.
There was, I'm pretty sure it was a cover.
Yeah?
I seem to recall
I think it
similar
was,
cover.
yeah.
I mean, that's always like a thing, Mysterio and globes.
But still, I mean, like you said, it really, it's almost like it was out of the pages. It's like they took a set of pages out of a comic book where they did this with Spider-Man, and they were like, here you go, here it is on the big screen. And that's what I wanted. I was like, man, I really hope they do this right. Like, they give it, and they did. They nailed it.
That's why when I saw, to kind of tangent, When I saw the title of the Doctor Strange movie that's coming up, into the Multiverse of Madness, all I could think was like the Ditko weaving universes, and I was like, "That's gonna be amazing."
God. I mean, but you got
a horror movie too, so I'm thinking.
I know, yeah. So they're doing horror, but you gotta. In my personal opinion, you gotta even give it to the first movie because the first movie was trippy because like they did a whole like city twisting and all this.
Go more psychedelic.
Oh, 100%. They should. They should.
I should feel like walking out of that. I should maybe feel dizzy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've already proven that the people are willing. They've already pooping. Wow, I can't even pooping. They've proven that the people will accept whatever they provide at this point. Like there was this really hard past where nobody wanted to make these like space cowboy style movies, but then they're like Guardians of the Galaxy $1 billion movie. And they were like, well, guess what? We just proved that we shouldn't be scared of making these kind of movies. Then they released Doctor Strange, where it's like, holy shit, what the hell's happening on the screen? All this magic and weird crap that you're trying to explain to me, but people still accept it. It's still made, what, 800 billion movie?
10, 15 years?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we were just talking about this on the way up here. Down here. God, I hate that. On the way down here, we were talking about...
I think up is just a general term that everybody uses. So it doesn't matter if you're south. Like, if you're north and you're going south, you still say up here. So.
Whatever the way I'm looking at the map.
Yeah.
It's always up, right?
That's a good point.
That's right.
It's GPS.
It's always pointing up. It's always pointing north.
It's not pointing down. Like, that's weird. I'm driving down. I don't get it.
Well, it sounds better, too. It's more positive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. But we were talking about the X-Men. And, like, the X-Men movies were so... They were on purpose made to be like realistic and like edgy so that people would accept it. And I thought that was probably the inherent error in those movies because what made Blade awesome was that it was basically shot for shot the comics. And that's why in 2 and 3 when they got a little weird, but then they were still trying to like make it realistic. That's why it got done.
Right.
Because
the
in
first
one, he walked into a room in the first 5 minutes and painted the entire room blood red.
Which was so
with vampires.
You know what?
Awesome.
I gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah, me
I haven't
too,
watched it in a
Like
while.
the blood rave scene is incredible. But like that's what happens in the... There's just countless disposable vampires. And that's what it should be. Whereas in like 2 and 3, you got like 12 vampires and they were all somehow quote unquote important to the story. And I'm like, yeah, where's the like hordes? I need hordes.
No, yeah, and that's what it should be.
He should be able to throw
100%.
one of those spinning blade
things.
Yeah. And we never got that again in 2
No,
and 3.
man, that's number one is always going to be my favorite.
Yeah, so, by the way, I just found this out recently because they announced the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. Super excited.
Yep.
They said, with this, somebody posted this, and it was like, with this excitement, I want everyone to think back onto when they had to CGI eyes onto Wesley Snipes because he wouldn't open his eyes in a scene where he was supposed to be waking up.
Oh my god!
I don't know if it was in 3, but I was like, I never realized that. But they showed the clip, and I'm like, oh my god, it's awful.
Well, no,
nightmare inducing.
He was being in the third. No, legitimately, he wasn't even there half the time.
60%, I think, if I recall, somebody like did that. 60% of the shots are his stunt double.
Why?
There's a couple shots. I actually think if you look at the cover, I honestly swear to God don't think it's him.
Huh.
I think he was just being he became a diva at that point.
Yeah,
like
he was like standing his he like wouldn't do certain shots, wouldn't do certain things.
Wow. Well, that's funny because I heard he was actually ready to do another Blade.
He was, and so and he
That's
was.
Why he did Art of War 2 after he was in jail.
And he posted a little like, oh, I'm talking with Marvel about Blade, and I'm like, I'm sure you are, but Marvel's not doing a Blade with you. Listening. I assure you.
Well, no. Here's the thing. He won't be Blade. He damn sure won't.
No,
be Blade.
he's. Well, we know
but
that.
He might be in it.
Yeah, maybe.
They might put him. They might put him in it as like a fan service for us.
Maybe, but even then, I don't think they might.
Yeah. Dude in the back or something.
But but no,
like
I mean,
like a disposable vampire.
Right,
I'd love that.
Right. But
to go back to Spider-Man though, we usually what we do is on a scale of 10, give it a rating. I said 8, 8.5.
Oh,
he said 8.5, 9. What are you thinking is a good rating for your perspective?
I'm terrible with this stuff. Like for me, I have generally low expectations most of the time. So for me, that's like 9 or 10.
Hell yeah! I mean, then I'm okay.
great
It was a great. Exactly, it did what it needed to do as a
100%.
Spider-Man film.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
It's a
it.
Spider-Man film.
Once again, to me, my biggest issue was going to be like, how did they make Mysterio? And they did it. And so, as long as they were able, because we've already seen that he can be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I wasn't worried about how Spider-Man was going to be Spider-Man. No, I already knew that was going to happen.
One big thing too, though, is like it felt like a comic. The whole thing
really
felt
did.
like a comic.
It really
Even
did.
That mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Man, that felt like the last page in a comic.
Oh, it did.
100%.
100%. That was awesome.
What?
That was great. That was
everything
awesome. Yeah,
about it.
100%.
Yeah.
And even the end scene where like Fury's just chilling, fake beach.
So on that,
and I didn't know what that was, but then he said, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's gonna be cool."
So on that, there's a new interesting theory floating around.
Okay.
In Captain Marvel, she asked him to prove that he's not a Skrull by selling her something that is deeply personal that no one would know.
Right.
And he tells her that he does not eat toast cut diagonally.
Right.
There's something about him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody found that in Age of Ultron, when they were on the farm, he cut his sandwich diagonally. Now, granted, it's a sandwich, it's not toast, but they're thinking that maybe this is not a new thing where he like substitutes somebody in his spot, which super goes in character with comic book Nick Fury.
Yeah,
he's always thrown out.
Yeah, he's
LMDs
always
all over the place.
100%.
Like there's always life model decoys of Nick Fury everywhere. Nick Fury has died 1,000 times.
Right.
Because it's like, oh no, Nick's dead. And like, oh, it's an L&D again.
Right. Yeah, no,
like
I mean...
Nick's somewhere in
He's
a...
never going to work.
Yeah,
No.
Well, it's funny. During the Secret Invasion, during the Secret Empire, where like Nazi Cap, Hawkeye found an actual base of just Nick Fury LMDs.
That's hilarious.
He just like was cranking them out. They were just like ready to go out.
No, yeah, but I mean, it 100% was a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, everybody always talks about, like, that's not the comic stuff I remember. Well, this played like a comic 100%.
Yeah, so,
I mean, maybe not a specific story.
Yeah, not a specific story, but who cares? Like,
to me,
we've already said this. Like, he had a hard time accepting Batman for being how he was. Like, he was like, this is an oversensitive Batman. I'm like, and then we finally...
And that's like... we fought for like a year after Batman v Superman.
Ben Affleck. And I love Ben. I think Ben Affleck was the best Batman because he was Batman. He was a martial artist. He was a detective. He did his own. Like he didn't have.
My only thing was I just hated this like mad devotion to killing Superman. I just did not understand how the Batman that I know would be like where he was coming at from this. So
that's
eventually,
not necessarily the fault of the movie, though. That's like more of a criticism. I mean, Frank Miller started that.
Right.
You know?
And
yeah, but even in that, he was never that emotional, and that's what hit me. I was reading New 52 at the time, and it just kind of like clicked in my head. I'm like, Batman in the comics is calculating. He's emotionless to a point.
Funny enough, though, in the New 52, he didn't feel like that, though.
And I mean, in some situations he wasn't, but like. For the most part, he's written as calculating, as like 5, 6, 7, 10 steps ahead, and in this, it was very much like, if he might be a threat, he has to be a threat, and we have to fucking kill him. And I was just like, he's just way more emotional in this universe.
Control.
Yeah, and then that's what made it make sense to me. I'm like, in this universe, this Batman is just more emotional than the Batman in the comics. Okay. And then I was just fine with everything. Like, everything made sense to me.
Yeah.
Because then after that, it's very much just what happened.
So moral of the story, when you're watching these movies, just look at it as a different universe. Don't look at it as the comic book universe.
I don't.
So it's a retelling of the stories.
Everything, but I still don't like the X-Men movies.
Here's the thing: I enjoy like the most recent ones. I really enjoyed them. I even didn't hate Dark Phoenix, but there were some aspects of it where I was like,
I don't want to.
Yeah, but here's the thing: there are some aspects where I'm like, why would you write that way? Yeah. Like, it was definitely a writing issue, not an acting issue. It's just like, I'm like, why? Yeah, so I'm like, why would you write it that way?
That's what I'm saying. So I think a lot of the early 2000s X-Men stuff was trying to make it realistic without getting too hokey. Right. And that's why they had that in the first X-Men movie. They had that, what would you prefer, yellow spandex? Right? Haha, Wolverine wears yellow spandex. But then, like, by the end, by the 7th movie, we got kind of pretty much superhero costumes.
Yeah.
They were still like rooted in reality, and even though he had like a strap on his chest for no reason, Cyclops, and I was like, yeah, but that's the costume, so I'm okay with it.
Right.
Like,
No, yeah, I mean, it's just...
but I just don't think they bought into the comic bookness of it. They wanted to make... That's why in every one of the first trilogy, there was... At the beginning of every single one of them, there was a mutation speech.
Right.
A speech about mutation.
Right.
And I'm like, we get it. Mutants. Like, by the third one, we knew. Like,
Right.
no one was
What
confused.
are these mutants again?
What's a mutant?
What's new? But yeah, no, I'm happy with what Marvel's been doing so far. I'm excited to see what is next. What's the next movie from Marvel?
In sequence?
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Is it Black
Is it
Widow?
Black Widow.
So
And
Black
that's like
Widow
a
next year.
prelude to everything.
It's
so
not to everything.
Not to
Not to
everything.
everything.
Apparently,
It
it
happens-
takes place.
After Civil War, before Infinity War.
So yeah, so it's not
Okay.
that far of a prequel, but
She
it's a
goes on a
prequel.
mission.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
supposedly, well, not supposedly, I've seen the photos from set during a scene that was being shot. She's driving a 2017 BMW. So it happened
Okay.
recently enough.
Okay.
So it's not Budapest like everyone wants. It's not that.
All right. Some things are better left unknown.
Well, right, because it's a running joke between them. So like, if you knew exactly
Yeah.
what happened, would it be as fun when they
Right.
say it to each other?
Right.
You know.
Kind of like
So-
the Nick Fury eye thing in Captain Marvel.
Although I did enjoy it, I thought it was funny.
funny.
Yeah, I thought it was
But I
funny
don't
because
know.
he always said like, because there was that one time I forgot who he was talking about.
He was talking.
He's like, last time I trusted somebody,
I lost an eye.
I lost an eye. But then
Yeah.
you see how he did it. I died
That
laughing.
was
I was like,
pretty
that's
funny.
Yeah,
hilarious.
I was like, oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. But no, I think, and this is a good segue into the Marvel stuff. San Diego Comic-Con had a ton of Marvel announcements.
Well, since we talked about Blade, they did announce Blade,
They did announce-
and
they announced Blade
I want to
last.
say this.
Did you see the clip?
No,
It's
I haven't
hilarious,
seen any of
dude.
that.
It's literally like,
I've heard.
it's like everyone's
Yeah.
on stage, people are clapping, and he's like, "Listen, guys, there's like no time. Like we haven't even talked about Guardians. We haven't even talked about this and that." And he's like, "Actually, let me bring a friend on stage." He's like, "Mahershala Ali," and he comes up and he's like, "Oh, it looks like," he's like, because everyone got hats for the movies.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh, looks like you've got your own hat." And he takes it out and he turns it to the audience and says Blade. And the whole crowd goes insane.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then he puts it on, they flash
Wow.
the logo on the screen, and he's like Guardians 2 or Guardians 3, whatever the stuff
Fantastic Four.
No, Guardians 3, Captain Marvel
Interested
2,
to see
Black
that.
Panther 2.
I'm excited, dude.
Basically,
Marvel
like, all
doing
the stuff
Task
that we
Four.
knew
Let's
was
do
coming.
it.
The first family.
Yeah,
It was
hell
like
yeah,
all the things
right?
that we knew was happening. He says like we didn't have time to talk about Fantastic Four. He's like, and there's definitely no time to talk about mutants.
Yeah.
And he just leaves it at mutants, not
Yeah.
X-Men, which is what makes me hope just a little bit that New Mutants is still part of the universe.
I hope so, because
Because
that looks awesome. Have you seen the trailer for New
Next
Mutants?
year or late this year.
When I saw the trailer for New Mutants, I had no idea
Bro.
because they said the word mutants finally in the trailer. I'm like, mutants? I'm like, what the fuck am I?
We're just
Because it looks like a horror
Mutants.
movie.
What are mutants?
It looks like a horror
Bro,
movie.
it
Oh,
plays.
wow.
It doesn't look like
'cause it's
any
James
comic book
Wan.
movie.
Is
And
it James Wan?
no, it's not James
Oh.
Wan. I don't know who's actually directing it, but it plays like a horror movie.
Dude,
and
there's a whole scene where like, do you remember the Frighteners?
Yeah.
So there's a scene where there's like a face coming out of a
yeah,
Is that
it
Kevin
looks
Bacon?
crazy.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox. Was it Michael J. Fox and Kevin Bacon?
I could have swore it was Kevin Bacon.
Maybe it was Wolfman. Anyway,
Maybe
Um,
it is probably Michael J. Fox. I might be thinking of Howard.
they were like, the faces coming out the wall, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then like you just hear like one line of dialogue, and it's like, do you know what a mutant is? And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah. And
Because
also,
I
I was
watched
like,
it as part of one of those like best
best
upcoming
movies.
trailers or
Yeah,
whatever.
upcoming.
Okay.
So I'm like, what? Did she be saying mutants?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
And then it finishes, it says mutants. I was like, no
Yeah.
shit.
It looks
It-
good. You have to look it up.
I don't know
when
if you ever
get a
read
chance.
the original like New Mutant stuff. I actually
I
haven't
think
either.
so.
I just know so much like because people talk about it all the time. The first, more so the second arc of the New Mutants is like really hardcore horror.
What are
It's
some of
Barry
the characters? Is
Windsor-Smith.
that where Wolfsbane comes
Not
from?
Barry Windsor-Smith.
Characters
Bill
that-
Bill Sienkiewicz. It's Bill
Oh, yeah,
Sienkiewicz.
nice.
It's the Demon Bear saga.
Huh.
It's huge. It's dark. Like the Demon Bear back then was drawn like this, just like amorphous thing that kind of like just it looked like nightmares, like.
Cool.
And that's what this. I was like, oh my god! I'm like, they're doing the original New Mutants. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But then I read the cast, and one of the characters is Cecilia Reyes, who was introduced in the 90s. And her whole thing is she never wanted to be a mutant. She was a nurse, and she was a damn good nurse, and all she ever wanted to be was a fucking nurse and a doctor, because her dad died of like cancer, so she always wanted to help people, like, you know, prevent suffering. She just wants to help and heal people. And then the fucking Sentinels show up at the fucking ER that she works at and try to kill her. She's got a force field, so she's got like a protective power too, which is a very cool kind of correlative thing.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, if she doesn't know she's a mutant and they're all going through these like horrific ways of figuring out their mutants, and like, what if the whole thing is also then her falling into the same thing, realizing she's a mutant? I'm like, this could be such a good
It looks
movie.
really good. If you see the trailer, I think you're gonna love it.
So that's why I'm hoping that that's part of it.
I hope. I mean, clearly the trailer came out before there was any kind of talk about that Marvel was gonna buy it.
Yeah, 'cause
Fox.
it was supposed to come out. Or it was supposed to come out April or January this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Actually,
I'm
November
hoping
last year
the reason they delayed it was so they can add it to the world. So if they can
Yeah,
just
you don't have to shoot a lot.
No, because all they have to do is maybe add a few more clips just to kind of mention
Context,
that they're in the world, and then boom, you now have mutants.
Very simple. Maybe they're all, because it looks like it's maybe like a mental institution. Maybe they're all in this mental institution because like all of their family members disappeared one day. Infinity War.
Right.
Snap. That's it.
And then
Like, no, my parents disappeared into a pile of dust.
So I'd be super stoked if that's what he meant by when he said. I mean, obviously he meant also XMen and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I'm hoping that that was one of the things that's going to be part of that, because it's such a good looking
I've
trailer.
heard a lot of people speculating on what they meant by mutants.
Yeah. So, but you should.
That's what I'm hoping.
That
It's
makes
when,
more
when you
sense,
get a
actually.
chance.
because it's like they already have it. It's done.
Yeah.
The movie's done. It's
Yeah, it's
done,
been
edited.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
there
get a
was talk they were
chance-
gonna put it on like Netflix or something just to like get it out.
Huh.
But I'm like, nah, dude. Like, this is gonna be a
Gotta
great
be an
movie.
event. Make it a big
Oh,
thing.
it would be so good,
Make it a
so
big
good.
movie.
Yeah. And
But
That's cool.
going off of that, since we don't have much outside of them saying mutants, I want to talk about Blade. So we've already talked about Blade. One, I said it has to keep true on the feel of what the first one was. The first, like he said, it's very comic booky, but at the same time horror.
It's
Like
horror,
it's
it's action.
both very well done, and it has a very good tone feel of
one
it.
of my favorite
So-
moments of any movie ever is when the cop shoots him in the chest and he looks at him, he's like, "Motherfucker, are you crazy?"
So to me, I said, okay, well, you don't have a director lined up, so I tweeted at Marvel and I said,
James Wan.
you need to get James Wan. The man that's literally been the king of horror in the modern day.
And he
On
goes
top of
action
that,
because he
he's
did
just done.
Fast.
He did Fast, and I think he did something else. I think he did Aquaman. He did
I
Aquaman.
still haven't seen it.
So, like, he's.
Sure, it was
things,
just James
but-
Wan.
I'm pretty sure that was James
I
Wan.
think it's talking to you.
Again, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure that was James Wan. So, I'm like, you can't even. How do you argue that? How do you argue a man that's done both horror and action?
True.
Put him on, and especially something like Blade, like
Yeah.
that works for that guy. So I'm hoping they convince on. I'm hoping they go after him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they can pick up any. They haven't messed up till this day, but yeah, he was Aquaman.
Yeah.
They haven't clearly. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of. Let's say, I'm not a big fan of Civil War. It was rushed. Even the director said it was rushed. I'm not a big fan. Like, I liked it, but I'm not a big fan of the first Cap. I love Winter Soldier.
I like
I thought
First Cap.
Winter Soldier was a great movie. Amazing, one of my favorites. I'm not a huge fan of Ant-Man. It was fun, but I'm not like a crazy fan of it, right? Like, I don't go out of my way saying, "Man, Marvel,
Okay,
you kicked
sure.
ass." But it's still a fun movie. I enjoy it. I think
I-
everybody.
they feel like good additions.
Yeah,
But it's like, if you didn't have them, what would you be missing?
yeah. So
They're not like integral to anything
Sure.
besides introducing us to the concepts.
Side quests.
right,
Yeah, side quests. Exactly. Like, they're fun,
yeah.
but they're not necessary.
Yeah. So, I mean, but still, even that being said, I don't think Marvel has yet messed up. So, I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to mess up getting Blade
Yeah,
properly
they seem to have
done.
really good
You know,
formula going.
yeah, no, they're kicking ass and
Yeah, I mean, I would say their worst, quote unquote, worst movie is, in my opinion, probably the first Thor. As much as I love it, as much as I love Thor as a concept, that's probably my least rated.
That was
Like I've found like renewed appreciation for the first Cap, but it's still like bottom 5 for me
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ant-Man, like again, Ant-Man and Wasp, Ant-Man, those are all kind of like bottom tier for me.
Yeah.
Captain America is like it's more important in the universe, so it ranks higher for me.
But once again, you're not saying they're bad movies. It's
No.
just
Yeah,
comparing them
it's
to
like-
the really big stuff
Right.
like Infinity War
It's
or
like if you
Winter
got a pile
Soldier.
of cash and it was all $1,000 bills and $100 bills and then $10 bills. I'm not mad that I have the $10 bills,
Right.
but that's my least favorite bill.
Right,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna not use it,
Right,
and I'm not
exactly.
gonna not enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I'm super stoked. I hope. I would like to see James Wan do it, just because I'd love to see where he goes with. I mean, he was part of. He didn't direct any of Swamp Thing, but he was a producer on Swamp
Right.
Thing, and it was his ideas that were incorporated into Swamp Thing. So, and that's a great show.
I haven't seen
And,
it.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm
They-
waiting for it to
they're
wrap
kicking
up so
butt.
I could just binge it all. It's a shame
so-
it's not coming back.
I know it's. Here's the thing: they never said. They
Technically,
just
they
haven't
have not
announced.
announced it.
Yeah, they said we just haven't renewed it for 2, but
Right.
they never said it's done.
Listen, all I know is Young Justice was canceled for a long time.
I'm saying right,
Now
and that's
they
a
just renewed it for a 4th
Right.
season.
Okay.
so-
Well, I heard one of the biggest problems with Swamp Thing was just a mistake with the budget. I guess they were counting on. some
And here's
kind of
my
tax
thing. Here's my
credit.
thing. Here's my
But
thing.
so the only people that, from the DC Warner side that have said anything about that were the writers.
Right.
So like
Nobody
one,
else has
One
said
of the
that.
writers said like they were expecting 40 million.
Right,
they only
right.
got 20 something.
But here's the
million.
thing:
But the guys from the state,
like
said,
the director of
we
that budget.
yeah, they're like
He's like, this is the state budget for
Yeah.
that, like law, and this is what they got. Like
Yeah, so
we were never gonna give them more.
Yeah,
Like,
well, here's the thing. So he and I read this, and I'm like, this is very interesting how they do it. So they treat a pilot as a movie, which I thought was interesting. So it gets its own like discretionary budget or whatever they call it, tax credits. So they got like something like 4 or 5 million just for that because it's like a quote unquote like single production.
Right.
And then the series max is like 23 or something like that. So in total, and they ended up getting like 31 million in tax credits. So like it's the literal max they could give them for the
Right,
season.
right.
listen, and even if let's say it is a money thing, let's say they lost a few million.
You just have to cut the budget.
All I'm saying is
It's not-
take the.
it's not
Here's
our budget.
here's the thing. All I'm saying is take the hit because everybody loves your show. Just renew it. The audience loves it. The critics love it.
Yeah.
Take the damn hit. You made plenty of money. You made $1 billion on Aquaman. Who cares?
True.
Take the hit. Don't be assholes about it.
That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of these companies, especially like a DC, especially like Marvel in a lot of ways, needs to look at the Amazon model. Amazon is as big as it is because it took a ton of losses early on.
Dude,
That's
Take
why
on-
you get. That's why you get, dude, free 1-day shipping. The cost of that is incredible.
bro,
If
Netflix.
If I buy a $5 item and you bring it to me the next day, they're not making any money
It's
besides
probably
they're like
costs
10%.
$15 to get it to
But
you.
here's the thing.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. But screw Amazon. Amazon has one of the richest guys in the world. Look at Netflix. Netflix still till this
But
day.
Netflix is taking that. They're taking.
They're
that
taking
Amazon
the hit.
mentality.
But yeah,
They're
exactly.
losing
They're
money.
taking.
They
They're
owe
in
money.
debt.
Yeah.
But they're taking that hit to give you because they know they will get the return
They
once
want
you
that
see
brand, they
all
want
their.
that brand loyalty.
Yeah,
they want that
and-
brand loyalty.
And you gotta restart that one because it's its mark.
That's
So I'm sitting here. I'm like, if somebody like Netflix, who is huge, don't get me wrong, but listen, Warner Brothers, you've been around for a very fucking long time, and now AT&T owns your ass. So if you're gonna take a little hit, take a little hit.
Pony
If
up and
critics,
get that show.
not only does your audience love the show, but critics nowadays, I mean, since what? at least 2008, the norm is to hate on shit. So if you don't hate on shit, you're wrong.
Right.
So if they're saying they love it, shut the fuck up. Take the hit and keep doing the show. Like, there's no reason not to.
Right.
So it's really, it's stupid that it's dumb that they are trying to play this dumb game. And there's no real announcement on what's going on. Because even the guys the directors, the whole staff and crew behind the show, they literally left the show with the props up.
Yeah, they said
because they were like, we're coming back.
Yeah, they said we didn't leave to close a show.
Yeah.
We left for the season.
Yeah.
To come back.
Yeah, to come back. So they were ready to come back, and like everybody, the staff and crew, the actors, they were all like, "This is a hit." When they were filming, they was like, "This is going to be a fucking hit."
So,
and they were
it's
right.
Probably coming back.
It has to.
I would hope so.
I think it would be stupid of DC not
even if
to.
it is the other
really
thing.
Stupid. It'd be idiotic. Because Titans wasn't a good show. And I was super excited. I was like, I gotta watch Titans. I can't wait for Titans to come out. They've been talking about it forever. It came out, and I was like, the fuck is this? I was like, this is not a comic book show.
It's so low end. It's low energy. The couple things that were cool about it were not Dick Grayson. That's damn sure.
No, it wasn't Dick.
The audio mix, like, I would like to punch. I would like to punch every single person on the audio team in the throat.
I will tell you this.
Even the audio.
Both Doom Patrol and definitely Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's the best one they got.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol, I'm
Doom
like,
Patrol's so good.
here's what's funny. Here's what's funny.
So weird.
Here's what's funny to me. They brought out Titans, right? And you're thinking, Titans, how do you fuck that up? Like, you have Robin / Nightwing, you have literally all the characters that people know, and you bring it out, very popular, and it's bad. Then you bring out a show like Doom Patrol, which nobody fucking knows, and it's an absurd show. It's an absurd comic.
Yeah.
It has a niche audience.
Yeah, and then you release that, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I love this fucking show. Outside of the last episode could have been better. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I love this fucking show. I've never read anything about this shit, and I love it.
The woman that plays Crazy Jane,
so good.
Like Warren Ellis.
The woman that plays Crazy Jane's incredible. Brendan Fraser as Robot Man, hilarious.
That's surprising. Like,
Hilarious. He is funny in that show.
I know very little about this, mostly because I heard like one little kind of mention of it in an interview while I was working, so I didn't get the full context. It sounds like he came forward before the Me Too movement with some accusations against somebody, and he was basically blackballed.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
And that's kind of like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, this is what happens to you when you do. So that's why, when there was that momentum that everyone did it.
Right.
So many, and that's why when people's like, oh, like, why are people coming out now? Because it's quote unquote safe to now.
Yeah,
you have
it is because now
saying
100%.
Like it was.
You got people that'll back you up now. You put that shit out there and people back you up. When Brendan Fraser started becoming huge, it still wasn't okay to say that shit because it wasn't like you're gonna get backup. It wasn't like people were.
It's the same reason Terry Crews, who's a man who I would not want to piss off, didn't fucking say anything until recently.
Yeah. Until it started to be a thing.
Until it became not the biggest problem. He got pulled off a project.
Yeah,
he was
Expendables.
Really?
What was it?
Expendables.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Expendables.
Really?
Yeah, they took him off because one of the guys that's, I think, a producer,
yeah,
the guy
like,
that he
a producer or something,
guy that he literally talked like he was the guy that did it.
Walked up, grabbed his jump.
Yeah. And so he's, I guess, one of the producers behind the movies, and essentially they told him, like, you need to apologize, and he's like, no. And they were like, oh, you're not going to be in the movie. And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
good.
First of all, Stallone should be, since he's the fucking man, right? Especially since he's literally the main character, he should be on top of that shit. He should be like, fuck you, he's going to be in the movie, and you can go ahead and take your crying ass home. Because I cannot believe, I'm a little disappointed with Stallone that he's not, he's not willing to stand up, especially in an era where we can call out people now without having to worry about it.
That happened before the Me Too movement. So it's anyway.
Regardless,
to back to what we were saying, the show itself is incredible. so many good characters. There's some cheesiness, but like you're gonna expect that. Cyborg is this like.
But that's what
really,
makes
really,
the show.
Really wants to be a
the
superhero,
cheesiness makes
like,
the show.
It works. It all fucking
And that
works.
is like
you got
the
two,
Cyborg, right?
you
It's
got-
not a different character.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's Tudyk, Alan Tudyk. He's the bad guy.
He does such a good job too. That's what he calls him. He calls him Tudyks.
It wasn't me. It's Kevin Smith. I take no ownership of that.
Oh, okay.
He was on Kevin Smith's podcast, and he's like Tudyk. I was like, that's fucking funny.
Um,
I'm gonna steal it.
But no, it's a great show. But yeah,
Yeah, it's good. I'm like Young Justice season 3, solid, super fucking solid.
but we still have half of it finished.
Yeah, we still have half.
Yeah.
They announced season 4, so
Yeah.
like it's clearly gone well.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm hoping to kind of transition back into subject matter topics. That's why I'm hoping the like other half of the slate of so like we got the movies, we got the Shang-Chi, which I'm excited about.
I'm excited,
Kung Fu
man.
movie. It's been a long time since there's been a really solid Kung Fu movie.
And you're telling me it's going to be a Kung Fu comic book movie? I'm
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah,
I'm even
psyched.
more
I'm
stoked.
psyched.
Cool.
Because I love
Um,
Kung Fu stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
you
So
tell me
it
it's
has
part
been
of
a
a
while,
comic book
actually.
world, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean like the last ones would have been Crouching Tiger 2.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the last
Long
like
time.
And that was a
good one.
Netflix.
Hero. I think was more recently than Crouching Tiger, and that was a long time ago.
Okay. Or what is it? The
Well,
P-Man?
Crouching Tiger 2
It was a
was...
show.
IP
You're right.
Man?
It wasn't a...
That was fairly recent.
What's one?
IP Man?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, like
Still-
we're like
But not big
struggling to-
releases.
right,
But
we're
not big
struggling to find
releases.
these, right?
Those were more...
None of them was a $500 million movie.
Right.
So I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm super psyched. It's very much. They got this kid who I didn't realize I watched in like this YouTube series. It was a great series. I loved it. But it was like he just was on that show. He was like a waiter, like nothing. Like it was not a thing. But apparently, talk about the power of self-realization. This dude tweeted at Marvel in December of last year and said, "So Marvel, let's talk." Hashtag Shang-Chi. And then now after the announcement, he responded to his own tweet and he said, "Well, shit."
Yeah?
Like
Hell yeah, man.
8 months later, he's Shang-Chi.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, you
Wow.
gotta put that energy out there. Because
Yeah,
here's the thing,
that is-
Well, it's not just-
especially for actors, like, just make the job easy for them. If you want to do the role and you fit basically the physical characteristics that they're looking for,
Right.
just
That's
be like,
90%.
just
of
be
it,
like,
actually.
I'll do
Yeah,
it.
100%.
I'll do it.
But here's the
Talk to
other.
your
But
manager,
here's the
talk
other
to
thing,
whoever.
and I've said this, literally the other day to you last night. Like it worked out for a few reasons, right? There's always this issue where there's not enough. What's the word that I'm looking for? There's not enough representation of different ethnicities within Hollywood. It's a lot of white roles instead of black or Asian or.
Especially, like, it seems after the 90s into the early 2000s, something...
Can we talk about the 90s was a golden era for this shit?
I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
fucking era.
So-
We had a female Asian lead that was huge. Lucy Liu was incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
We had Jackie Chan was in fucking everything. Like,
Yeah.
Jet
what
Li.
happened?
It's
Jet
weird.
Li?
Yeah.
It's weird, and that's where I think a lot of people, like from our generation, are kind of taken aback by some of the stuff that's
Well,
coming
100%.
out now. Like,
Well-
wait a minute, what problem? There's
Well,
a
yeah,
problem?
yeah, yeah.
Let me rewind a little bit. Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. And well, yeah, we did, but that's what I'm saying. So, you know that there's this low representation of that ethnicity. So, one, okay, he's Asian. That works for him, right? Because he's, it's a ethnicity that definitely doesn't have as much representation as it should, right? So exactly, yeah. Because I'm like, dude, I love Jet Li. I love Jackie Chan. I would watch anytime they would release a movie. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch that shit.
Right.
So it's like, what did happen during that period? Like, yeah, okay, Jet Li said, I'm not doing any more big time movies.
Right.
These big budget production anymore. He still does his movies. He does them in China and stuff like that. But like, he doesn't do these ginormous ones anymore. And then, like, almost right after that, it's like when it kind of started disappearing of these Asian main actors being in film, and I'm like, what the fuck happened during that period?
Like joke characters.
Right, exactly. So you got that aspect going for him, right? You got Marvel, who wants to do a character on that, right? And then so they're seeing, and then on top of that, you brought up a character that nobody knows. So Marvel's already intrigued. It's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. He happens to be...
Well, he did not he did not bring that up. Like Marvel, there's been talk of a Shang-Chi movie since early last year.
Really?
Okay, that's great, but I didn't really hear about it.
Right. No,
like,
it wasn't a lot of talk. It was everyone was still on Infinity
Sure,
War,
that's great. So that's great. So outside
going.
of me and you mentioning like they fucked up Iron Fist and maybe they should do a Shang-Chi movie, like, or TV show. We said it should be a show. Now they're doing a movie. So outside of that, like, I didn't hear shit about them saying
they're doing a movie
so.
they want to put him on the Avengers.
But that's fine. So at the end of the day,
What's up?
It could be the next Kung Fu.
well, 100%, 100%.
Really cool.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he took advantage, and he was smart. Once again, he's an ethnicity that needs representation. Two, Marvel's all about that, especially due to Disney's past and all that stuff. So they want to.
Make up for it.
Making up for lost time.
Make up for
and
some
then
mistakes.
on top of that,
Mistakes
and
in the
then on
past.
top of that, bringing up a character that nobody knows and nobody's talking about. Like, sure, even if it was mentioned, I didn't hear about it, and I pay attention to comic book movies. So, like, and I pay attention to behind the scenes and interviews and Comic-Con panels and shit like that, and I didn't even hear about it. So the fact that it was talked about wasn't talked about enough. So for him to bring it up to a company that big, and he was in nothing, and to get that role, genius.
Yeah,
the kid's a genius.
He was nobody, man. He was in no
Kid's a
major
genius.
production. He was on YouTube shit. Like, he was on that.
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with YouTube.
No,
it's
no.
just when
But he just wasn't. He wasn't.
right.
He wasn't
Like, you haven't been in movies, and
Right.
so in that aspect, like, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad he got the
I'm
role,
psyched for that.
and I can't wait to watch it.
I'm hesitantly.
That is cool. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you because I think that's how you do it. Like, if you want something, like you said, if you want something, bring it up.
Yeah.
Even if it's through social media, bro.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, do it.
It's
People
just
are looking.
amazing.
People are looking because, well, guess what? I bet that tweet of his had some following, and somebody at Marvel was like,
Right.
let me put his name down.
Exactly,
And
man.
when it's time to look at this,
man. I'm super stoked, man.
That's
I
what-
mean-
I don't know if you watch like any of Jim Lee's like Twitch streams. He's constantly talking about how like the big two, especially Marvel and DC, they're constantly scouting. And he says, you know how you get in. You just keep doing your best work.
Yeah,
It's
do
very
your
much
work.
Like a don't call us, we'll call you kind of thing. They
Yeah.
really are watching.
100%.
especially now since they don't have to like go out and find you. They can just scour on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
They just be like
Seriously.
Captain America and just search through the posts.
And also,
Like-
just like he did it, do whatever you need to keep doing, but then at the same time, make your presence known. Tweet at them.
Yeah.
Keep bringing them up. Keep tagging them until
Yeah.
you have to, until you grab their attention.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Thing. He sent like 300 something submissions in. before
Hell
he
yeah,
got a
man.
job.
Hell, that's how you do
Like,
it,
They
man.
just got sick of him.
That's how you.
Yeah,
But that's
they're
that's
like,
why
Jesus.
that's
They're
why
like,
I really
fine, fuck it, here, do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Asian representation, I really would love to see it's. I keep forgetting it, but the guy from Badlands, it's Daniel Wu, right? That's
I think so.
I think, but he's dude. One, he's already. I think he's the one that does IP Man. Is that
Quite possible.
Is that? I think it is. But guys, I mean, he's a good martial artist on his own.
It's a great
On
show.
top of that,
It's a great show.
he's it's a great show.
So
I
many
think you'd.
great
I know
shows.
it's a lot.
We
Although
I can't watch
it's
it.
only running for 4 seasons, so the
Okay.
4th season is coming out, and then they're finished.
Okay.
They're gonna actually finish and not just cancel it.
All
So
right.
when you're ready to watch it, you only have to watch 4 seasons, and they're not long. I think they're at max 13 episodes, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. They did a
Still
great
pretty
job.
long,
But I'd love to see him in movies. I'd love to throw him up. I mean, especially stuff like you said, the big two, Marvel or DC. Grab that guy. He's a good actor and he's a martial artist.
Well,
grab him, put it on something. Let's
I
see
thi-
him do some stuff.
I think that show puts him in the presence. Like, it puts
Yes.
him in the zeitgeist. People are gonna think about him, and people love that show. It went for 4 seasons. You headline something for 4 years. People are gonna notice.
Yeah.
There's just no way around that. Like, there are people who did a show for a season and then no one remembers that show. Yeah, but like at the same time, I mean, let's be honest. How long did it take Alan Tudyk to like get into like being something other than that guy who was on Firefly?
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
look
He
at.
did
Look at it
He
even
did
this way.
nothing
He
for
wanted.
many years.
Look at it even this way. He wanted to create his own show. He had to do crowdfunding, but he got done.
Exactly.
And now,
But then he's
on.
zeitgeist
But
of
now
people thinking
he's
about it.
he's like, even if it is like, let's say, characters that you don't see his face, but he's in Star Wars. He's in the DC show in Doom Patrol. He's now actually going. He's
Yeah,
out there.
I would say
People-
like on-screen camera time for Doom Patrol, he probably did like a day.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't
Like,
do much.
no
But
show.
listen,
Main
but
villain?
but here's the thing. But at
it's
the
a
end
lot
of the day,
it's like voiceover.
a lot of his voiceover because he
And a lot of
knows
it's CG.
he's talking to the audience.
Sure.
So it's like it's one of those things.
He's the narrator.
He's the narrator
Oh, wow.
too. It's hilarious. He does such a
It's-
good job.
It's a
I'm really
such a good job.
excited about
It's a
it.
fun
Yeah.
Just waiting for it to
No, 100%. But yeah, no, it's I that's what I want to see. I want these big two to
Yeah.
start grabbing more of these actors because they're
like,
out there.
The tokenism that we saw in like the mid 2000s, early 2010s, the tokenism of like, let's change this character to black, let's make this character this. That doesn't help anyone.
Right.
That's literally doing it for the sake of saying, look, I did this. I
Right.
checked the box.
I checked the box. Yeah, and that's
Whereas,
Why not?
whereas you have characters like a Shang-Chi, like
Sure.
even if they had made Iron Fist, Danny Rand, Asian,
Yeah.
made him Japanese, Chinese, whatever,
It
that wouldn't have done
Yeah,
anything.
it wouldn't have done anything.
Because the whole thing is rich kid from New York. Yes, he happens to be white,
Sure.
but he was sent to live somewhere where he has no concept
Right.
of that life.
Right.
That's the
And then to
character.
come
It
back.
changes his perspective.
Right,
and
that's
makes
the
him
whole
who he
thing.
is. Yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
agree.
let's not even talk about how they fucked that entire thing up in
yeah.
season 2.
That's a
Like it's there's ways to do that kind of stuff without having to dive into this. Oh, look, I made this person a woman. I made this person gay. Like, why? It's not necessary. Here's the thing. Ironically, to me, when they made Iceman gay in the comics, I was like, there's a lot of shit that kind of makes a lot of sense now.
Right.
Like, so many moments and scenes, and I'm like, were they intentional? Who fucking knows? But, like, there was a period of time when North Star had a mad crush on him, and he was written as having just incredibly aggressive objection to it. And I'm like, that's a lot. Like, Bobby's usually like the lighthearted, so that's even then I thought, I'm like, that's a lot. So when they were like, oh, Bobby's gay, I was like, yo, that makes so much sense.
my go-to
Like,
argument
makes
too.
sense.
My
But
go-
like most of the time, it's
fight
just
Magneto. He pinches Colossus on the ass. It's all coming.
yeah, I know, right? It's all making
It's a
sense.
subtle little
But
thing.
my
Subtle
argument
things.
too, and I've always said this when we talk about it, when they change, like you said, tokenism, when they change ethnicities or sexuality or stuff like that, I'm sitting
Just
there,
for
I'm
the
like,
hell of it.
yeah, just to like he said, just to check the box, like, hey, we did it. Are you
Right.
happy? Like I'm
Now
like,
characters
I'm
that
sitting
make
here,
people and
right? I'm
actually
sitting here.
developing more, making it
Exactly.
interesting.
Exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. I'm sitting here. I'm like, that's just as bad as not doing it because
Yeah, yeah.
all you did is literally to say we checked the box.
In fact,
Yeah.
I would even venture to say that it might be worse.
It would.
I
It
agree.
is.
That
Yeah.
the problem because there were characters that people of color or other minorities identified with.
Yeah.
But you didn't pay attention to them. You didn't give that character
And that's-
enough
and that's
attention
my-
like you did
Exactly.
the other characters.
And that's
but
my-
those people paid attention.
Exactly.
They want to see that character.
Well, that's my
Exactly.
argument.
Fucking
That's
do
my
it
argument. I'm
Yeah.
like, why change characters? Why not make badass characters, right? Of that ethnicity. Why change an ethnicity? Why not make a like you got somebody like Jon Stewart. We've seen Green Lantern of Hal Jordan. You don't even have to say that movie didn't happen, right? You could say that movie
You can
happened.
even say it happened.
But now,
I
when,
liked
but
it.
now, yeah, I
Controversial.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. I
Except
agree.
for the yellow smoke
I
cloud.
enjoyed it
It's
as
kind of
well.
like what you said though, where you just have to put it in your mind. This is an alternate.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, say Hal Jordan happened, but now do Jon Stewart. You have a black Green Lantern.
He's so good.
And
like the funny
and
thing
I
is,
always said, I said do Idris Elba. He has the look, dude. That
Oh,
he
yeah,
looks
actually,
like.
he looks
I see
exactly
Idris,
like
and I'm
the
like, that's Jon Stewart,
the
man.
thing is too.
Oh my god,
the
I'd
thing
love
is,
it.
too,
I'd love
Jon
it.
Stewart as a character was created, and like DC has admitted this. Like the people that created it admitted it. He was created to be the Black Green Lantern. Like that's the only reason they made him.
Interesting.
But he's
Someone
been
got a hold of him.
But he's been developed so
yeah,
well.
exactly.
He's been portrayed as the trainer of the Justice League. He teaches Justice League members how to fight. He is a sniper. He is a renowned American sniper. He blew up a planet with a sniper rifle once. It was like these stories are so good,
That's
and he
a
has
great
all this
example
shit.
of
Like
exactly how to do it. Then you take these characters
Yes.
that maybe were just created, for
100%.
that, but you turn them into something.
100%.
exactly. I mean, Shang-Chi's a good example of that. His dad was Fu Manchu, and Fu Manchu is, as a character, as a cinematic character, is problematic in a lot of ways.
Right.
But like, they took that because Marvel owned the rights to Fu Manchu comics for a while, so like they kind of like built off of that to make a new character. So eventually, like, Shang-Chi was developed into really, really good shit.
Right.
Every time he showed up, I was excited. Like, he showed up in Spider-Man books. There was a 97, 98 Heroes for Hire series that he was on. Awesome. It was dope. It just, like, there's really cool shit. He was on one of the newer Heroes for Hire books. When he joined the Avengers in, like, 2014, 2015, dude, that series was so cool. And he was portrayed as, like, almost like Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Like
you know
Bruce
what I'm
Lee, where he
thinking
would just
of?
like walk up and just like know fucking fight, like how to fight a dude.
That's
man. Like,
that's who I
so
was
good.
thinking of, because I was like, man, I feel like I saw him in an animated series, but I didn't. I saw the DC version of Bruce. I want to say it was Bruce Lee. Doesn't DC have Bruce Lee as a character?
Karate Kid. You're talking about
Karate Kid, yeah,
Karate Kid,
Karate Kid, yeah.
the Legion of
Yeah.
Superheroes.
So that's where I was thinking. I'm like, didn't they do
Yeah,
him in
because
the
he's got
anime?
the big,
Yeah.
big like spawn shoulder wings
Yeah.
behind him,
Cool.
like
But,
the wings. It's fine.
But yeah, no, man, I was super excited when they announced stuff like Blade and Shang-Chi, and I'm like, good. Finally bring out characters that you fucking had,
Yeah.
and that you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about if you're going to change that in this season or
Which
not,
is ironic.
because they're already that ethnic group.
Yeah.
Like,
which is ironic because for Eternals, at least 2 characters were gender bent.
yeah,
There are
Yeah.
2 females playing 2 male characters
Yeah.
from the comics.
yeah,
Interesting.
Because
Huh.
but there were still at least 2 female members of the Eternals. They just made 2 more
Huh.
for
Okay.
reasons.
Just
whatever.
because.
For reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
Ajax was
Ajax, which is like the leader, is being played by a black woman, and he's like a white dude. So they just like went all the way.
right.
Full.
Yeah,
And,
they went full
flip-flop.
swap.
I actually thought Angelina Jolie was going to play Cersei. She's playing Thena, which is interesting because now I'm interested to see who's playing Cersei. Cersei's kind of like the liaison to the Avengers. She ends up becoming an Avenger for a long time. She ends up dating the Black Knight. He's like her. They call it Jocelyn. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's basically like chosen one. It's like once you bond, like it's never broken.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very interesting, but I think they're probably going to work off the Neil Gaiman series, which is from 2006, 2007, I think, where he basically like modernized it all. Like all that stuff happened, but the way they are essentially like built-in defense force for the Earth.
Okay.
Like that's like the gist of what I understand about what they are. But when they get killed, they reset into a new body with all their memories and shit.
Cool.
So that's
I can
why
dig that.
I could even accept like maybe like their new bodies were just randomized.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
listen.
is fine,
I mean, here's
whatever.
the thing.
Because then that
Whatever.
lets you maybe do a 2
Right.
if some of them don't want to come back. 2, you do a different
Yeah.
people.
Keep it going.
Yeah,
Just
you can
recycling
always
actors.
do. Yeah.
You can use it as a testing ground for actors.
I mean, listen. I don't have whatever. I mean, if they're willing to completely change it, it is what it is. Once again, I'll just view it like. Once again, you said they changed bodies, so that already plays into the whole story. It's explainable.
Yeah, it's explainable. It's not just like for the sake of it.
So I'm willing to accept. I mean, it doesn't really bother. I am interested though to the fact that like all the upcoming movies that are now taking place after Spider-Man that finished off Phase 4.
Finished off Phase 3.
Phase 3. So going into
we're
Phase
going into Phase 4.
So going into Phase
It's only gonna be,
4,
like, 2 years, I think.
yeah. So going into Phase 4, we have movies that like essentially nobody would even care
Black
or
Widow.
would have thought about like, oh, I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah.
We got a Black Widow movie.
After
we
she
got
died.
Eternals. Like
Eternals, who's unless
nobody,
you read comics, no one knows
like
about that.
nobody
Yeah.
knows.
Shang-Chi.
Risky
We got a
movie.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi. Like this is a crazy risky
Yeah.
move.
But I think it's off of that high.
Right. They're
off
like,
of that,
well,
like
now
they
trust
made
us.
they made gang of money.
Yeah.
Gang.
Like,
I
so
mean,
much
dude, they
money.
made it's just an
They can afford to
absurd
take.
money.
They can
It is
afford to take
such a
5
risk, though.
risks.
They could take quite a
Like,
few risks.
If
5
you look
risks.
at the passive audience, or not the hardcore comic audience, you look at those people. A lot of them are kind of leery about Phase 4. Like I use my cousin as a perfect example because for the last 15 years now, he's been just like, Marvel movies, gotta see them all. I want to start reading comics. What are the best graphic novels? Da 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 da. He saw this list and he's like, I don't know what I'm even looking at. Like, what is this?
That's
and
funny.
that kind of scares me a little bit.
It does.
Maybe
I
it's
mean,
a little too
here's the thing:
ambitious,
they are
but
taking a
these
huge
polls,
risk
Yeah.
into these movies that not anybody really would have heard of.
Yeah. But at least it's only.
But
years.
here's the thing: if you give them a chance,
maybe they're awesome.
I mean, here's the thing: it's Marvel, so they're gonna be fun.
Sure.
They're gonna be good and fun.
Sure.
Are they gonna be great, amazing, excellent? Those bigger words.
We'll see.
Who knows? We'll have to watch it.
I think,
Maybe
but
we start to connect.
but I mean, like I'm
Exactly.
thinking
I
right,
think
but
you
I'm
have to-
thinking
I think
something
you have to
like
sell the like you said, the general audience. You have to sell them on a movie, not the concept.
right.
Right.
So
yeah.
when you see the trailer, I mean, just like for me, if you're a horror fan and you saw that New Mutants trailer, you were in before it said New
100%,
Mutants.
100%.
Like because it felt good. It felt
Well,
like
here's
a
the
horror
thing.
movie.
Here's the thing. I mean, Marvel did badass with Captain America, Iron Man, and all that. But when they announced Civil War, and then I watched the trailers, I'm like, you can ask him. I was always telling him, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this is going to be as good as it should be, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It
There
wasn't
was a
as good as
lot
it
of
should have
rush
been.
CG.
I mean, there was a few shots where I'm like, that's the Iron Man CG. Like, really?
Yeah. I mean, like, dude, it's even like a running joke in the CG.
Spider-Man was just getting injected.
Yeah,
So-
literally.
so what happened-
literally.
They added him.
They legit added him. They had a
I
guy
think they
on.
had to refilm some stuff.
They had a guy on set right because they were in negotiations. They
Yeah,
had a guy
it
on
wasn't
set.
even Holland. It was.
It wasn't Holland.
Wow.
He did voiceovers, and
Yeah.
then he did that in-home shot.
Yeah.
He did voiceovers. They had a guy on set. The suit wasn't even correct. Like it was almost to the, like what it was gonna be, but the suit wasn't even right. So like that's why in that trailer where they eventually added him in the running scene, he's 100% CG because they had to take the guy out because he was there. They show like I've seen the behind the scenes shot of him running, but in like a different suit. So they had to take him out and then re-add the correct
I
body.
didn't know that.
Like
Yeah, that was like. I mean, I'm glad they added him in there. That was kind of important.
yeah, it was a good movie, and I mean it was a good.
Listen,
good
I mean,
introduction to him.
yeah.
It was very much like I'm glad that they stuck with no origin story
Right.
because we just saw that. We
He's
just saw it.
so iconic too.
He's
Like,
iconic.
If you don't know the origin story, ask your neighbor, ask your friend,
Or
ask
just
your
go,
uncle,
or
like,
just go
someone knows.
watch literally the other Spider-Man movies,
Right.
and you understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
Because I think what I also think that they did because if you look at the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans and even the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, they tied a lot of what was happening to him to his origin.
right.
So
Yes.
because of how he became Spider-Man in the first one, that became Hobgoblin or Green Goblin. That became even Octopus
really
in the second one.
respected their storytelling.
Yeah, like everything went back to the first movie.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in the second one. The second one, they like, oh, now there's this like secret conspiracy and Oscorp is into some really deep shit. And it's like everything was about effectively how he got his powers.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, he's just a superhero and Iron Man's like, yo, come join my team. Let's do this.
And he's just a kid.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I love the most about this more recent movie is like we got to see him as Spider-Man.
Yeah,
trying to live his
100%.
life,
Yeah,
but
no, I
not
loved
able
it.
to, and
I loved
people
it.
That he loves being
That's
put
why
in
they cut
danger,
that.
and,
That's
like,
why they cut
what-
that initial scene. The initial scene with the cops.
Yeah.
Because at first
he
I was
can
like,
never have it. He can
Yeah.
never. He's the one superhero that he can never have what he actually wants. He can touch it, taste
Right.
it, get close to it, but he can never have it.
because that's why
Finally did.
I think they
And
put
without going over.
yeah,
yeah
without
they
going
put that
exactly.
trailer, they put that scene in the trailer with the cops where he like saves them or whatever. And when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, they cut that scene. And then at the end of the movie, I was like, I know why though, because in that he was like happy-go-lucky, like. He was like, oh, I'm going on vacation. Peace out, guys. Whereas, like in reality, he was trying to get away from his
he
his
was trying to. So that
responsibilities.
scene wouldn't have made sense.
So it just didn't make sense for him to be like happy-go-lucky and going on vacation, whereas he was really just trying to get away from everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad that they pulled that. But it was a good movie. It was such a good movie. I'm excited for the movie slate. I'm probably more excited for this Disney Plus slate.
Huh.
Disney Plus, we've got WandaVision coming, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I'm hoping they're actually going to rename. I actually
Which would make
still
sense.
think,
Rename it to Captain America.
I still
and
think
Winter
it's going to be
Soldier,
Captain
because
America.
he is
Winter
Captain
Soldier.
America.
Sure.
So
because it wouldn't make sense. Like, he got the shield. It was the clear, like, here is the title. And for him to, like, now, spend 8 episodes, 10 episodes being like, I don't know if I'm worthy.
Maybe.
Like, I don't think it's...
Maybe
I mean,
it's his coming-of-age kind of story.
Yeah, it's possible. Like,
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's very. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's very possible that's what they're going to do with the series before they release a movie. It's like,
possible.
okay,
maybe like he builds
have
into
to,
it. I'm
yeah,
not
like
mad about
because
that
even
particularly.
you can
And then
see
Phase
he's
5 new Captain.
yeah, exactly, because you can see he's second guessing, and when Cap is
Yeah.
giving him the shield, he's like,
He said
it
it feels
feels
like somebody else.
yeah,
is.
he's like, and it's not, and like you can see that he's not 100% for that. So I can imagine that. Let's say it takes 8
that
episodes for him.
still going?
Yeah, it would make sense that 8 episodes of him working with Winter Soldier, like, do I actually accept this mantle? I could even see it where he does have the shield, but he's just not calling himself
Right.
Cap. He's
Yeah.
Not
Falcon.
yet, not yet. Yeah, there's potential there. I really like. I posted this on Instagram. I really want them to fight the Serpent Society. They have it's a disposable bad guy. It's a disposable comic book bad guy where like these guys are in suits and ladies are in suits of snakes, various snake types. So you could have them in these ridiculous outfits, have actual superhero fights, but they're disposable. No one fucking cares about who this character, Diamondback, or whoever this other character. Yeah. Nobody cares. I know one of them. I know Diamondback. like I don't know any of them because who cares? It's the Serpent Society.
Right.
But they're like bordering like a racist group. Them or the Hate Monger. The Hate Monger kind of being like the background kind of because. I even said that and I regret saying it because the Sam Wilson Captain America comic turned it into a very, very political thing.
Okay.
It turned it into like everyone is against Cap.
Maybe that's where they're going with it.
And
It would
I
fit
didn't
the
like
times,
it.
I guess.
But my problem is essentially if imagine life right now if you took off every conservative voice off the radio. It would seem like the entire nation was against the president. The entirety of the nation.
Sure.
And that's what they made this comic book like. It was like every news report was like people who were like, that's not my Captain America. And like everyone that didn't want him to be Captain America was like shown, and people were interviewed who hated him. People were on TV who hated him. And it was just like, it really, really felt like everybody in the Marvel Universe didn't want him to be Captain America. And I didn't like the book. I didn't enjoy it. Because you can't tell me that a guy who last week was fine saving you as Falcon is now not okay saving you as Captain America.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
It sounds relevant, though.
It sounds relevant.
Like it might actually work at this time.
Not
It's
to that
saying
extent,
anything
though.
About it, but that it might actually work.
Not
But
to
I
that
think you have
extent.
to still show a balance. You still have to show people who do like the fact. Like, they really made it like black people liked him and nobody else did.
Wow.
Right.
That's how they wrote it.
Okay.
Right.
And
Alright, so maybe not that.
It was
big
a
of
little
deal.
extreme.
Right.
It was-
that was my problem. Like, it was very much like these old rich white guys were like plotting to take him down, and like only the black people in the poorest neighborhood liked him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro,
It was too
what
much.
the
It's a bit
fuck?
heavy of a statement.
No, yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. It's a really like it's a
Exactly.
huge statement, and
Not
it's
to be
it's
punny, but black and white.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's
very much. It could have been done better. There are ways to do that kind of thing. It just wasn't done right. So that's why I'm hoping they don't go down that road. That's why, like when I said hate monger, because that's kind of like his bag. But that would even make more sense to me because like that's a bad guy doing it. That's an actual manipulator doing it.
Okay.
I don't know. I would like to see like a road trip, them going across America, him trying to like really get the feel of what he's supposed to do, and like along the way, like beat the shit out of the Serpent Society, beat the shit out of like these guys, that guy, just like little fights. But then at the end, he's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna like go for it. And then you get last episode, you get him in full suit. And then that leads
the Gotham route.
and that well, he'll have his Falcon suit the whole time, so he'll still be in suit. But it's just like at the end, you'll get him in full suit, and then he fights whoever, main bad guy, and then at the end, they do classic Marvel style. Captain America will return. Right?
Okay.
That's I would like because that's a good way to do it, and then you give those 8 hours of people getting because what we said in Endgame when Steve said Avengers Assemble, if Sam said that exact thing in that moment, I wouldn't have cared as much.
Right, you need to connect with that character.
Because he hasn't had the same amount of screen time, he hasn't had the same amount of face time, so I think having these 8 hours of him developing and showing who he is as a
and you need
character...
you need to develop him good. Like, you need to have him that same strength, that same resolve like Steve Rogers had,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
exactly. And
that's the same attributes that made Steve Rogers great as Cap. You need to make him with Falcon because people need to connect with him.
I'd love to, like, the last episode before he like makes that final commitment. He's in a fight, and he's just like, I could do this all day. Like that would feel like such a.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like that would just bring it home for me.
Yeah. No, it could work. I just.
But there, like the problem is there's ways for it to fuck up.
There is, and here's the problem. And here's the problem. Since
especially as a TV show, there's more chances to fuck up.
You got eight solid hours.
Right. So here's the thing. But here's the thing. Disney wasn't behind the Netflix series. It was on Netflix, but the production people and all that was chosen by Netflix. So
I'm pretty sure basically we've written those off now.
Yeah. They're 100% written off.
I mean, we're not going to say that Cottonmouth became Blade.
Yeah. Right. No, they're 100% written off. They are done. Those things don't matter. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong. Danny Rand was awful. Iron Fist was a horrible.
Although that happens before. Hold on. What was the inciting incident for Civil War? Where did the son die? Remember at the beginning of Civil War, the woman stops Tony Stark in the hallway.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she played Cottonmouth's sister.
Right.
She played.
Really, that was her?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't seen that.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe they could still involve. Anyway, I'm just trying to. I just want to save those shows. Like there's ideas I have.
I mean, I don't care if you have ideas. They were horrible shows. Like outside of Daredevil and Punisher.
Daredevil season 1 and 2, 3 sucked.
Well, I haven't watched. I haven't watched 3 yet, but 1 and 2 of Daredevil, Punisher, at least season 1 because I haven't watched season 2. Those were the only good ones. I didn't care for the first season of Jessica Jones. The second season was god awful. Nothing happened. Absolutely zero.
So boring.
I'm not even a fan of Jessica.
And I'm guessing. Third season, nothing happens because the one chick doesn't get her costume till the end of the season, which is completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
What show is that you talking about?
Jessica Jones, her friend, she gets... I don't want to ruin it.
Long story short, she gets powers at the end of season 2.
Right, it's the lady that's in all the shows, right?
No, it's her blonde friend.
Oh, I haven't even
the
seen
reporter.
this.
Yeah,
it's Hellcat.
Okay.
Hellcat from the comics, who was originally a model comic book called Patsy Walker.
And then
interesting.
Iron Fist was bad, and
Iron Fist 2 was maddening, very maddening.
So Iron Fist was bad. Jessica Jones wasn't that great. Luke Cage was all right at best.
I liked Luke.
See, I didn't care.
Season 2 sucked. Season 2 ended on such a
the
shitty
only
way.
thing the only thing I liked about season 2 is that he fought the guy a few times.
Yeah, there was an actual superhero fight.
But man, he flipped his character was totally different in season 2.
Yeah,
what happened?
So and then when you brought him together as
Defender, bad guy, what?
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. And then when you brought them together as Defenders, I didn't care at all.
Too soon.
I didn't care at all.
If they would have done that, like, okay, stretch Luke Cage out, give him like 5 seasons, maybe that's a season 3 or 4 thing. Like one little blip in the middle where he's like struggling with that.
The unfortunately
season we were just starting to like this guy.
Unfortunately, the season. So I really don't care if they're going to erase those because there was just too many mess-ups. Yeah. There's too many mess-ups for me to even care at some point that they could fix it. So you might as well, you're saying Cottonmouth no longer existed. He is now Blade. Cool. just give me a whole new
Move
cast. In
forward
5
from
years,
here.
when you can use those characters again, because that's the contract.
Sure.
Cool. Make me a new cast. Bring out these shows. Make them way better than what they were. Make them actually feel like a comic book show, and we're good to go. That's all I need to know. So hopefully, but I think everything is going to be good. I'm super excited for Loki. I am excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. WandaVision. I am excited. I really don't care for the title, but I am excited.
Such a stupid title.
What's the other one? Hawkeye. I'm excited for Hawkeye as well.
They did. I only said that I hope that he introduces Kate. I think they said for a fact that he's introducing Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop is going to take over as Hawkeye, and I think he's going to retire.
Yeah.
Which is fine for me.
Yeah.
I think he's put in his fucking work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He is.
you know, he's going to get his
He's been there. He
he's
showed
going to have his 8 episodes, and he might still show up once or twice during maybe like a second season of Hawkeye with Kate Bishop. I think you could lead that into a Young Avengers movie, and then later on,
Yeah, 100%.
like there's ways to build that up. It's very, very interesting. I would love a West Coast Avengers show. Like, ongoing,
Here's the thing. Here's the
ongoing.
thing.
This
Here's the
has to be
thing.
forever.
Here's the thing. To be real,
Never stop.
we didn't get a lot of movie announcements like that are coming out in more recent time. But at the same time,
Yeah, Eternals
But
and
at-
Black Widow. That's the
yeah.
next
But at
year
the
and a half.
exactly. But at the same time, we are going to be getting a lot of Disney Plus, assuming that people want to. If some, how many people are going to sign up?
One
and-
show
Yeah.
fall next year.
Yeah.
I don't need a whole other.
One show
service.
fall next
Put 'em on
year,
something
then
I
one
already
show
got.
spring the
I know,
following.
man. I know. At some point, it's
So
like
fall 2020, spring 2021.
I got
like,
too
those
much
are
to
coming
pay
out pretty
for
quickly.
already.
Yeah,
So
I want to see all the DC shows, but I don't care. I'm gonna
I
wait
only
until
watch
they're
it
on
because
disc.
he has it, and
I get
Yeah.
you to log in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
hey,
Fuck
man,
'em.
they want to be stupid about things. I agree. Fuck them. But that's it. We've talked plenty about this. I'm excited. I don't. Let's move on to the next part.
Let's move on to the next
Let's
thing.
move
Okay,
on.
let's move on to the next thing. Real quick, let's talk about DC. DC's really, really disappointing.
Irrelevant?
Fucking
DC's irrelevant?
Like San Diego fucking Comic Con.
Didn't even hear about it.
There was nothing.
announced-
I don't
There was
know
all they
nothing.
announced. All they announced was some animated movies.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna.
Justice League-
All their
Justice
animated
League
Did you-
Dark
good,
2.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear? So we've already
Red Sun.
we've already brought this up a few times on the podcast, but since you haven't been on, I'm going to bring it up one more time. And I said it this way: so there was a man.
Uh-oh.
He's known for not being able to draw feet, and he
Leave
tweeted.
Rob alone.
Yeah, right. So he
No, I will not
he-
read about you. Rob alone.
so he tweeted at DC Comics.
Can't draw
and
better than me.
he-
You don't
and-
deserve to be
Oh,
fucking
that's
Rob
not
Liefeld.
fair.
And-
He's good.
I know.
He's really good.
So he tweeted at DC Comics, and it was the tweet was towards the comics aspect,
Okay.
and he
said
said
that they're, like,
basically
disorganized,
that
that
they're
they're
disorganized. They
gonna,
don't know what
like,
the fuck
fall
they're doing.
apart.
DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here's the thing to me is I'm like,
Their comics.
yeah. So
He said the organization.
the
He said-
organization, yeah.
He said it's falling apart.
yeah,
basically.
and so, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, I know he meant that towards the comics organization. But after all the shit that's been going on with the movies, I
Yeah.
100% agree with his statement, even if it was a harsh statement. Like, he is 100... And the proof is in the pudding, as they say, because they don't know what they're doing with Swamp Thing. They're not willing to take... If it's a money thing, they're not willing to take a hit. If it's a freaking
studio thing.
where
Shut
the
the fuck
studio...
up and let the fans decide.
Yeah, where the studio's like, oh, I don't like. There's two rumors. There's rumors for Swamp Thing. It's either a money thing or the studio just didn't like it. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, who the hell cares if you didn't like it? If the staff and crew liked it, the actors liked it, and now critics and audience love it. Fuck
it is,
you.
It is.
But you were
It
saying-
has
Yeah,
like a 93%
so take your
Rotten Tomatoes
fucking-
critic rating,
Literally,
which is
literally,
fucking unheard of.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
So take
it
your
doesn't
take your
exist.
ego, shove it up your ass, shut the fuck up, and let it happen.
But you were
So-
saying that no, we don't actually know.
We don't know, but
There's
that's the
been
thing.
nothing
But
yet,
they
but those are the
they
rumors.
also should have already announced that they are going to do it because it's a no-brainer. On top of that,
there are also theories that they're saving a lot
on
of shit
top
for
of
New York
that,
Comic
you've
Con.
had Ben Affleck
Oh,
issues
yeah.
as Batman. Like you've been horrible at how you've been doing that, and then on top of that, Ezra Miller was gonna leave because he wasn't agreeing with the writers they brought on for the Flash movie.
They brought on the SpiderMan writers.
Yeah,
about
and
that.
he was gonna leave, and I'm like,
They wanted like
get your
a
shit
light and
together.
fluffy
If your
Flash
actor,
movie.
if your actor's willing to go on his contract and pay you whatever money that you're gonna fucking sue him for, because he's not agreeing, then you need to, as an organization, figure some shit out.
That's crazy.
This should not be public. This should be like, I should not know that Ezra Miller is going to be leaving.
That is a good point.
You don't have your shit together,
keep that
and
stuff under wraps.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing as a company.
Mean,
so
I think
so
it's
the
a new
fact,
era. I think we learned a bunch of shit that we probably wouldn't have 5 years ago.
So
We don't
the
even need to know.
yeah, exactly. So the fact,
Mostly.
so the fact that they only announced shit that is, it's relevant but irrelevant, to be serious, because let's be serious.
They're not
the
making
majority.
they're not making $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. The
Dark
majority
2.
of the audience is like, when's my next $1 billion Aquaman coming out?
Right.
Like, and you didn't announce shit. You do not have your shit together, DC, and that
It's
sucks.
San
biggest convention
Diego
of the year.
Comic Con.
Right?
So,
It's San Diego Comic Con. I honestly think they didn't want to fight with Hall H. If the rumor is true that they saved a bunch of shit from New York, it's like 2 months. In 2 months, we're gonna hear a bunch of
I
shit
hope
from
so.
them. Because I'm thinking they want to run the East Coast. They're gonna let Marvel run the West Coast.
I hope
like
so.
DC. I like DC a lot.
Me
want
too.
them-
Really
I want them
hopeful
to.
that
I'm
do
a
well.
huge
Or
fan of the movie
okay,
universe.
you know?
I loved both Thor Ragnarok and Justice League came out at the same time. I was like, fuck. Like, I
I
love
think
the
both
DC
were
movie
entertaining
universe.
in their own ways.
I was like, I love the movie universe, but I don't know how you beat Thor, because that was fucking amazing. That was
incredible.
so much fun.
They have like a mojo going.
Exactly,
on in
right?
studios.
So then I watched Justice League. I'm like, that was fun. Like, holy shit, they
It was,
did it. They
it
put
was.
the movie, they put the characters together
Yeah.
extremely well.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
they
thought so
nailed it.
too.
They did it. Good job.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what the fuck are you doing now?
I think it's
Like,
a
oh, Ben
consistency
Affleck's not going to be
problem. They don't
Batman
have a
anymore.
consistent voice in their
Yeah,
films.
and that's the problem. And
I
so
don't know,
they were,
hired a guy and then he quit.
yeah, so they were like, oh, Jeff Jones is going to be our guy,
Yeah.
right? He's going to be our Feige, but he's not, because he's not doing anything. Like, he's pretty much gone, from what I understand. Like, he's not even handling the
That's
business.
a shame.
And I'm like, so you guys can't
Johns
get your
is
shit
good.
together.
John's ran the DC brand for a
Yeah.
long time.
And he's good.
And then they were like,
I don't know how
oh,
you- I
we're
don't know how you
releasing.
give him the reins and you still fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the
there's
problem.
a big difference though running a comic company compared to running.
Oh,
a movie
100%.
studio.
But then the other problem is they were like, oh, we don't know what's happening with Ben Affleck. Oh, all our movies are not going to be in the same universe.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to
that's
release
weird.
a bunch of different Joker
I don't-
movies.
I don't mind.
I don't mind it, but here's the
that.
problem. It confuses the general
It
audience.
really does.
It confuses.
Because the general audience is going to go see, oh, Joker. What? Joker? Like, it's going to be part of Batman?
I know what you
You'll
mean.
see.
I
Watch.
don't disagree. I think there's definitely going to be people who do that. There's definitely going to be people who are confused by it. But I think there's going to be plenty of people who figure it out.
I mean,
think,
I'm going to love it.
I think
I'm
if
excited
you
about
slap,
it.
Yeah.
I think if you
I am
slap an
too.
Elseworlds label on the
Right,
front of
There
it,
we go. Yeah.
I think
But is
people
anyone
understand
gonna know what Elseworlds
Elseworlds, something else.
Here's the-
something else.
Here's-
Are they putting Elseworlds on it though? Or are
They're
they-
not.
They
It
better.
is in
They better.
Elseworlds, but they're not. Like, I don't
Right.
think there's going to be a label. But here's the thing.
Because they
I'm
don't have a
telling you
main
right.
universe
I'm
yet.
telling you
Yeah.
right now.
Might
The
as well.
amount of comments and shit I've heard, you'd be quite surprised how many people
Oh, I
wouldn't
don't doubt
understand.
it. I don't
Yeah,
doubt it.
yeah,
I don't doubt it at
yeah.
all.
How many
I
people would
don't
be
think I
like,
would
that
be
didn't make
surprised."
sense? How is this part of the same world?
Think
And I'm
about
going to
the way
be like,
people talk about the Marvel movies.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
us, we're the Marvel movies.
Oh, I know.
There is no other distinction to make. Oh, you know the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because it's consistent.
Yeah, it's
on
always
brand.
consistent, yeah.
You can't do that with DC.
No,
Right?
yeah.
There's nothing that really even goes together.
and here's the thing. I said it. I said this to a point. I said, let's say, for instance, right now, they just announced the Twilight guy playing Bruce Wayne / Batman. I was like, I'm not going to judge, because back in the day, I judged, like, when Heath Ledger got announced as Joker, I was like, why are A Knight's Tale? Like, like, this guy's supposed to play in a...
10 things about 10 things I hate
Yeah,
about
I'm like,
movie.
this guy is supposed to play a psychopath that, like, is just fucks with you mentally. But then he did it, and I was like, I'm gonna eat my words. I'm gonna admit to everybody I was a fucking idiot, because, like, what the fuck was I talking about? But here's the thing. That's great, and you can release Batman movies that are not during the same time period as the Justice League movies, but they can still be in continuity, right? So it's like prequels. Like, oh, this happened before he became this. Cool.
Sure.
But like that means you still, when you do the next Justice League with Henry Cavill and why am I forgetting his name? The guy that played Aquaman. What's his name? Jason Momoa. Like when you're clearly gonna bring them back. Let's be serious.
Sure.
And now that they did walk away the writers that Ezra wasn't agreeing with, so Ezra's gonna stay. Okay, cool. You're not gonna tell me that fucking Twilight Boy is now Batman in the Justice League movies, because I ain't gonna believe you. So you're gonna have to figure out how you contact Ben Affleck and like, hey, listen, I know
it very much.
you know you're getting better. Listen, the guy has issues. He's got alcohol issues. He needed to get his shit straight together. Cool, but you're not. That was one of the bigger issues. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, that's cool. The guy has to get, and that's awesome. But like, you don't
Frank
say
Miller Batman. Then.
I'm saying, right?
Let's
but
go
I'm saying,
all in.
but I'm saying,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, like, you don't have to get rid of him. You're not making a movie with him in a while.
Yeah.
He's got time to recover.
Yeah.
You don't have to say he's no longer Batman. He can just be the Batman that we see that's in the current time.
Right.
And all these other Batmans are prequels. How we get to this Batman?
Or Batman Beyond.
Right?
The
Yeah,
new one would be an awesome
100%. You
Batman
have no
Beyond.
idea how many times I've talked about
cool.
I want a Batman Beyond movie.
First of all, no, I don't think Robert Pattinson would be a good Terry McGinnis.
No.
But I also probably have Terry McGinnis as a character, like probably in like a rose box. So like. I've got him set aside. He's like a special little flower.
I know, I know you weren't a fan of the guy that plays Beast in the new X-Men. He was also rumored to be played.
Huh.
He has Terry's look.
I disagree.
I disagree with you. He has Terry's look.
I disagree.
I disagree with you.
I would, if anybody.
He's gonna pick something stupid.
If
Watch.
anybody. No.
Let's see. Let's think the dumb name.
Anybody. I don't know. It's hard because he almost needs to be a little geeky.
Go on.
Like,
Go on.
no,
you mean
he's
the guy
too
that
tall. He's too tall. He's too tall. No, I actually I don't like. I mean, like they did a really good job not focusing on it. But Hugh Jackman is way taller than Wolverine's supposed to be.
Way taller. Yeah.
So
100%.
like, but they did a really good job not focusing on his size. But a lot of what makes Wolverine is the fact that he's so little and powerful.
Right.
So like they
Like a little Wolverine.
Yeah, they refocused that away from the character, and they made him a different kind of character.
Sure.
And it worked, but like he doesn't look like he's in high school, bro. You got to understand, Terry McGinnis is in high school.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's fair.
enough.
Sure.
Like,
But then,
he's
like,
too big.
that's
Like,
great. Okay, excellent. So you want somebody like Tom Holland? Because I would. Because
had a little bit.
Yeah, more mass, taller.
No. He's
Because I couldn't
he's actually. I think he's still too bulky.
No, 100% disagree with you. You're done. I don't even want to talk with you, dude. Terry McGinnis, like if you
Terry
watch.
McGinnis isn't. He's not an athlete. He's not an athlete. He's just a punk kid.
That's fine.
That's it.
That's great.
He's a punk kid.
Okay.
He's a punk kid. He can't take a punch. He can't swing. He is not the guy.
Okay.
That's why he makes a good Batman. Because
Sure.
he's not the guy. He's not the guy that's looking for it. He's not the guy that's trying to get power. Like, he's not the guy that like, you would think would be the guy. So, I'm talking, like...
What about the kid who plays Mike on Stranger Things in a few years?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Actually, not Mike, the
gotta
other
wait a
kid.
few years.
Not Mike, the other kid. Mike's the kid that got... that. Yeah, Mike. That's...
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking, who's the kid that got kidnapped?
The
Will.
other kid.
Will. No, but yeah, that kid, 100%. 5 years, that's the kid.
Nah. I disagree with you.
Because it's a suit of armor.
That's cool. I still disagree
Like,
with you.
that's fine. You can disagree. But like,
will.
I'm just saying. What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know.
With the shows we're talking Loki. I'm super excited because I really, really, really want it to be.
No, we
like-
were talking about DC and their announcements.
Right, DC and their ass. But
Or their lack of
I just went back to Loki
No,
because I wanted to say that.
No.
I just really wanted to be mischievous Loki. Like
That's
punch-
fine. It will be.
I don't even
Yeah,
care.
super exciting.
I don't need a Loki movie or show or whatever
Really?
it's gonna be. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: nobody needs it, but if they're gonna do it, let them do it. I mean, I'm
do it well.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. I mean, the guy that I always forget, Hiddleston, he loves playing Loki, and he really accepts that role. So, listen, as long as you got an actor that's still in love with the act, let's do it. Like,
he's perfect.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You weren't lying though. You weren't lying though. The DC stuff was what we were talking about. Yeah.
No,
it was
a
very disappointing.
Here's
San
the thing:
Diego.
if they do announce something in New
York.
York, kudos. If that's what they wanted to do, they were like, okay, we're going to separate from Marvel.
Marvel's not doing shit anymore.
No.
They already dropped the big fucking one.
And if they're going to drop...
You come out, you drop the mic. You don't have another one.
Well, no, here's the thing. They will talk more, but it's going to be at Disney. So they're Disney 24.
D23 or
D23. So they're not going to worry about New York. So whatever they're going to announce further on, if they're going to talk about Mutants or Blade further on, it's going to be a D23.
Yeah, it won't
they're
be
not going to talk about New York.
New York,
nobody gives a shit.
New York will probably get comic book stuff. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff from DC was a lot of comic book stuff as well.
There we go.
And there was a little bit of XMen stuff that was announced, but I don't think it was necessarily San Diego. I think it was just kind of like simultaneous. It was like previews of the upcoming series. No, it was San Diego because they had a panel. But it was like they had Hickman on stage talking about like Excalibur and all this new stuff that's coming out.
Although Marauders
is a series.
I do want to say, Marvel, can you please bring back the fun animated movies that you made? Because I love the old Doctor Strange, the old.
I don't think they're going to.
No, they're not. But I
want
want them. I'm asking them if they're listening. I'd like them to do it.
Sure.
I don't care if they're not going to.
But here's my question.
Please, Marvel, listen to my tweet when I said James Wan, bring him in for Blade.
I honestly would rather have them focus on the live action movies and any.
But those are different
features,
teams, so it doesn't matter.
And any animated features, I would like to see animated shows. Good, because the last Spider-Man fucking garbage animated nonsense shit, not fucking interested.
Right, so you're worried.
Chibi stuff.
No, not that one. The one after that, Marvel's Spider-Man.
The one before that was actually fun. No, this new one is stupid.
I showed you it was fucking flat, had no shadows, it made no fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's all flat.
It's awful.
Every scene is flat unless there's
it's bad.
Like he opens a door and there's like a light source and then there's shadow. Otherwise, every shot is flat to the background.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Is it a style choice or is it?
I think it's a cheap choice. I think it's a laziness choice.
It's fucking dumb. I don't like it.
It's a laziness choice, and I just don't. I don't care for it. But
like. Ever since Marvel bought Fox, like literally like the next fucking day, the people who did the XMen animated series, they're like, we'd love to pick up where we left off.
Yeah,
I was like,
that.
fuck
I
yes.
the whole panel on
fuck yes, please.
That's awesome.
Just start season 6. Don't even fucking put the rest of the show out. If you watched it, you watched it. If you didn't, fuck you. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
And people were like, oh, you could like make it look like the old one. I'm like, no. Hire the fucking guys that did the Japanese intro. That's the fucking.
Oh, now you're talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, hire the guys that did the Japanese intro, do that show. Oh, because that'll still look the same. It'll just look better and newer.
Sure.
I'm like, oh my god, it would look like fucking like Dragon Ball Z'd out.
Sure. Yeah.
Dude, I want it.
Good.
Bring me.
Give
artists.
me season 2 of Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who cares if it's at the same time?
Yeah.
Give it to me at the same time. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, man. And it's Disney Plus, so you don't have to worry about anything else except that.
I'm saying.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear bullshit. Just get it done. It's not like you can't.
With Disney Plus, granted, it's Disney Plus, so it's not so much the comic book stuff, but like DC's talking about putting out every single comic they have on Disney.
DC.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that actually. Is tempting to me
DC Universe, like to have every DC comic. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that by itself is worth the fucking $8
to join.
Yeah,
I missed it. Missed that little window.
I missed it too, man.
Because I saw all the Batman, like they were coming out with some new Batman animated thing or something, or I forget exactly what it was, but they.
There's a new Harley Quinn series.
The Harley Quinn series looks fun.
That is something they announced.
Harley Quinn series looks fun. Hilarious.
It's cursing.
Cartoon show. Or
yeah.
Comics.
It's
an animated show, but it's vile and it's gore and it's cursing. It's
like there's
checks all the boxes.
All the boxes.
Seriously,
all the boxes.
So like everything that
Ty Templeton has a list of like what you need to make a good comic script, and it's like have it written down somewhere.
There's
like potentials for different things.
Everything that they didn't do well with the Harley Quinn comic book series,
right?
they seem to be doing right.
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
show.
no, they seem to be.
Because
nailing-
I read 3 issues of the comic book series, and I'm like, this is fucking garbage.
Right.
Does it check all these boxes though? The potential for violence,
Yes.
wickedness,
Yes.
suffering,
Oh,
Yes.
comedy,
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah.
Almost
All
certain.
right,
Dude,
well,
dude,
there you go.
there's
Ty
literally-
Templeton approved.
There's literally.
She literally punches Joker in the dick.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
A-
Well,
and
it's just gotta be.
And
like
it's not. Does she
No,
punch
no, no.
him? I can't remember.
She hits him in the dick with
Yeah.
something. But she's right on. I
Oh,
think.
you had me at hitting him in the dick.
I'm saying, right?
But I think they're gonna play with her and Ivy's sexuality.
Oh yeah,
Because there's like
Yeah.
they're right on
They
top
have-
of each
they have
other.
yeah. Ivy falls on top of her. I was like,
Not-
oh, this is
not
gonna
in
be.
the actual comics. That was never a thing. They're
Well,
just really good
they're like
friends.
friends.
Yeah, they're really good friends.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like every
Teased. It's the potential. not
yeah. But they're
necessarily
like really teasing it.
interesting. Well, that I don't care about. That actually turns me off a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean, that's
not
why
the idea.
I'm
but
hope-
just that
It's
that
gonna
would
be fun.
If,
It's gonna
if
be
they're
fun.
gonna go beyond that scene, because they're like right there to
Yeah,
each other,
yeah.
and I'm just like, are they really gonna? Whatever.
See, I just don't get.
I just feel like
don't- it's
everything
not
else
that I'm,
distracted me
against
away
the-
from it.
That, but it's the focus on it. It's like,
Yeah.
they won't they? I don't know. I
Yeah.
want
Well,
action.
I
now that
intrigue,
now that I'm
story.
thinking
It's,
about
it's
it,
Kevin Conroy doing Batman, which I'm
That's
super
cool.
excited
yeah,
about.
yeah, right,
And they didn't play any Joker audio, which makes me believe that it's going to be Mark Hamill.
Probably.
right,
Probably.
right. And here's the thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, you said they're most likely gonna wait. How funny would it be? This whole bullshit about Swamp Thing was because they didn't want to say anything because they'll announce it.
Oh.
It'll be an announcement at New York.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
I
you
hope
could-
that is.
Here's the thing: if there were people that this was the camel that like this was the straw that broke the camel's back, they might be able to get those people back.
Yeah.
But if there were people who already had negative feelings and that just like reinforced it, they're not winning them back.
Well, right. No, I get
Like,
it, but
If they were to announce,
but you
like,
still gotta win me back because I'm enjoying it, and you're telling me it's not coming back. I have no reason to pay for your service.
we have no
if-
reason to pay for service because I'm paying.
Well, right, but I think that camera died. But at the end of the day, it's. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care if you're paying for the service. If I don't want to wait to come to your house to watch it, I still want my own subscription. But right now, if they don't know what the fuck they're doing, I have no reason to want to get their subscription. So
Right.
I don't give a shit if you've lost some people. You still have people to gain.
Right.
So fucking figure out your shit. So if you're gonna announce it,
dumb.
announce it.
It's dumb. That's why I mean, like, weirdly, that's why I think CBS is really doing the best job at this like online streaming thing. They were like, here is somewhat a controversial Star Trek show, but it is good. It is actually good. I really like Discovery.
I mean,
And then they were like-
when they show the trailers, I was excited.
And then they were
for it.
like, "Oh yeah,
Star
by the
Trek.
way, I'm
not
not
either.
saying
I like
nothing,
it.
but
Yeah.
Picard is a TV show, and everyone and all the fucking Star Trek boys were like, yes, like."
With Patrick Stewart.
With
Yeah,
Patrick
that's what I'm
Stewart.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And he had said a long time ago that he had said his goodbye to that universe. He was
He
done.
did.
And when
call
they
bullshit
announced
there,
it, when
He's
they
saying
Patrick.
hello again.
when they announced
Hello,
it,
friend.
he flat out said, he's like, I thought I was done. I thought I had told all the stories I wanted to tell.
Huh.
He's like, and then I felt the call again, and there's more stories to be told. And I was like, fuck yes.
Cool.
So like it feels like he's in. It's not like some sort of nonsense bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in the prime timeline after it's like 20 years after the beginning of the first Kelvin movie, the new movies.
Okay.
So the beginning where Romulus blows up, where like why Spock goes back in time, that whole thing. Apparently Picard was like leading a refugee fucking convoy, like and that's like one of the things in the trailer was like 15 years after leading the greatest like refugee convoy of all time, like what is blah blah blah, and I forget what the exact words were.
That's
but
exactly what's on the back.
Blah, blah,
blah. Whatever. Watch it.
it's like it sounded like an interview. It sounded like maybe like an interview somebody was giving him.
Oh.
It's like, so 15 years after doing this, like what are you doing now?
Huh.
Kind of like thing. So that's why. But he comes back, and in the new trailer, in like the full trailer, there is Data gave his. He says that Data gave his life to save him, which I'm like, Data is an android, but like I guess if you just destroy the central
Alright.
core, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But there's a woman that shows up, and he goes to the admiral, and he's like, "Listen, if she's what I think she is," and then it cuts to a ship, a shot of a Borg cube, that's in like disarray and like in pieces and shit. I was like, I wonder if she's like Data's daughter mixed with Borg tech. Like, it'd be very interesting to me. And then the fucking trailer ends with what I'm imagining is a holodeck simulation. Okay. And he's playing cards, and he's like, I don't want the game to finish. Or I don't want the game to be over. And it goes from behind his head, and it pans over, and it's Data, and he's like, I can see that, sir. And that's where it cuts. And I was like, fucking Brent Spinner, man. Like, dude. And he, like, they did a really, like, he's clearly older, but they did a really good job making him look like 1995 Data.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, shit, all right, I'm fucking, yeah, I'm sold. Like,
they just slapped that face app young filter.
Yeah, right.
Now he belongs to the Russians. God damn it.
God damn it.
So, the final,
we're getting good at that stuff.
the final thing, we'll kind of like move forward and kind of hit the last bit here. I'm gonna zoom out on this because we're about to lose that.
We're definitely about to lose that.
We're about to lose that. That's still got plenty of fucking battery. We did, and I don't know how much you did this. We did it on the way here. We discussed this.
We
shit
did.
out of it. That's fine.
So I was.
we're just gonna
well, I told
you
him.
with
He's like, did you get a chance to think about it? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who I would pick because I would really have to research. So he's like, all right, fine.
Me too,
I'll research for you. Okay. Tell me what characters you want. And so while I was driving, he was throwing out stuff.
Or actors?
Well, so both.
We did both.
We did both.
What would be your? Let's start with you since you have like what
I'm gonna be terrible at this.
What would be like your like? Okay, so this is
just for the characters. What characters would you want to see in Marvel's X-Men?
In my version of this, in like the way I'm thinking it is, without them having to like do some sort of Secret Wars multiverse nonsense, they were always there, but some event forced Xavier or Jean or Emma or somebody to erase the knowledge and existence of men or mutants from mankind. No one even can conceptualize a mutant.
Okay.
The reason I thought of this is because just recently in the last issue of Uncanny, before this like new relaunch, that's what she did. There was like very few of them left, and she was just like, to fucking save us, no one can even see us. They see us as just people. And they show the scene where Alex and Scott are talking in like a public park, and he just like blasts his arm in the fucking sky and nobody blinks. And I'm like, yo, what if like that's the way to do it in Marvel? Because like no one remembers. So like that's why they weren't around, because even if they did help out, even like you can even say that they did help out during the like invasion of Manhattan. But no one would fucking remember. Nobody would know.
Right.
Huh.
So whatever the reason was, like my thought is that they're now, for whatever reason, having to come back into public knowledge to maybe stop that thing that made them whatever. You know, there's a way to do it, and I think it's a pretty straightforward way to do it without having to do like fucking old multiverse collapse shit. You know, like it doesn't need to be a Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. Okay.
But so tomorrow there's a new X-Men movie within the MCU. Who would you like? Who's your team?
Oh my god, I'm terrible at this team building stuff. I can really just say like my characters. I guess I would like to see done justice on the screen. Nightcrawler, I would love to see. I think they did pretty well with him already, but I'd like to see a little bit more.
I agree, 100%.
Gambit, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Where's Gambit?
Yeah.
Jubilee, but I want to see her as the Jubilee that we remember.
Yeah.
I want her to get some screen time. I love Jubilee.
Yeah.
Storm, too. I want her to get some more screen time.
I
love
agree.
Storm. Honestly, a lot of the 90s X-Men, that's like where my love of the X-Men is. But toss in, I want to see Bishop. I want to see Bishop done right. Cable as well, which I think he's already there. Let's keep him going.
Yeah, just keep him going. I mean, you have the character.
Yeah, totally. I mean, geez, that as far as villains go, I'd like to actually see more villains. I don't think we've really tapped the pool yet of any, great. I mean, they tried, but they missed the mark on Apocalypse big time. I think I'd love to see a redo on Apocalypse.
Right.
But done right. Do it fucking like CG him if you have to. I've seen cosplay that looks better than what they had. That was disappointing.
Facts.
Sinister.
They
I want to see
underplay
some of your classic villains too, like Pyro. I'd love to see Toad again, but done a little bit more like Toad and not like an attractive dude with a little bit of makeup on him.
Attractive dude with a little bit of makeup. Yeah.
Sinister is another one for me.
Sinister.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which they teased, and I would have loved.
Yep.
And then there was this whole thing where he was doing a panel with Bryan Cranston, and they asked him like, if you could be in like the comic books.
That would be awesome.
He said, if you were in the comic books, who would you want to play?
He's like, I would
He's
like to
like-
play
he's
something.
He's like, I wouldn't want to.
sinister.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to play. I wouldn't want to play a hero. He's like, if anything, he's like, I play like a villain, like, and he straight up said, he's like, if there's a guy I would play, is like maybe somebody like Sinister, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
Oh,
if this
yeah.
fucking happens,
Just
I'm on
think
board
Bryan
right now.
Cranston saying that line. They call me Mr.
Yeah,
Sinister.
that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I mean,
So-
Bryan Cranston, man. I mean, like,
Bryan
I'll take him in
Cranston for
anything.
real.
Just put him in everything, and I'll
I'm
watch it. I
saying,
don't give a
I'm
shit.
saying.
You have my money.
I would love to see some Savage Land stuff. Like, we've barely even touched on it at all
Yeah.
in the movies. I
Yeah.
want to see Savage Land. I want to see Sauron. That would be awesome. Or not Sauron.
Yeah, sorry.
Sauron. Yeah, dude, like, just the stuff you think of when you think of X-Men.
Yeah,
I feel like we got
100%.
some characters on a superficial level, but, like, I want to see the comics brought to life.
Oh,
That's what I
Well,
wanna
that's
see.
and so that's
all the weirdness about it, too.
Yeah.
You know, more
Yeah.
Danger Room shit, more about
100%.
Cerebro.
Well, that's what I told. So I was telling him. So my list is kind of long for like the hero side of things.
I was
because-
like, yeah, who would you want on there? You just kept going, and I was like,
all of them.
I was like, that's like 12, dude. That's a big
But
ass team.
then I told him, I was like, yeah, but you can split it up, right? You can
Yes,
have 6
yes.
in one movie and another 6 in another movie,
like,
and then make
X-Men
one.
Blue, X-Men
Yeah,
Gold.
and then you have like a big
A
event
tr-
where you got to involve
Yes,
all
three.
12.
build it up like
Yeah,
you did
'cause
with
I
the
have-
Avengers,
I have
do the
to-
same
yeah.
thing for X-Men.
So outside of
have an
ex-
X-Men Blue movie, have an X-Men Gold movie. They can
Exactly.
have it at
Build
the
up to
same
the
time.
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants,
Exactly.
Hellfire
So
Club,
outside
like,
of-
just, there's so much
outside
there.
of Xavier, I said like you. I said I want my '90s X-Men. I want Beast. I want Wolverine. I want Storm. I want Jean Grey. I want. I said Morph. I'd love to see Morph.
Kitty Pryde, the Dazzler.
I said Iceman, Cannonball.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Cannonball.
Yeah, and obviously Gambit. I agree with you 100% on that part. Who else did I have on there?
So
Any
you
long
have,
shot on there?
Oh, Jubilee.
Oh,
Jubilee,
yeah, of course.
100%.
so you have for your list, you had Logan, Cannonball, Iceman, Beast, Cyclops, Kitty, Rogue, Jean, Gambit, Morph,
Yeah,
Jubilee, Storm, and Xavier.
yeah,
So
100%.
Xavier-
Yeah.
And like I
Like-
said, like you do 6 in one movie, 6 in one movie, then you have a big bad movie where you got to involve all 12, and you can do it. Motherfuckers released Infinity War.
There's like
after
10
you've
there's
done,
like 37,000
there's 37.
people.
You're on different planets and
Yeah.
shit. Don't tell me you can't do it.
build
You
up
can
to
do
it.
it. You got
100%.
this shit. You
So-
can do it.
Yeah.
He came up with a really. I actually wanted nothing to do with Wolverine. I felt all of these movies went really Wolverine centric,
Yeah, really like.
But that's
No,
because
no.
Really get Wolverine.
and that's the thing.
I like him, but
I would like to see a proper Wolverine trilogy that builds up Wolverine as a character.
Yeah.
But in the X-Men movies, I want him to play his fucking role.
Right.
When he shows up, he's my berserker. He's
Yeah.
my Cyclops
he's like
needs to pull him
Raphael
off a dude.
Turtles.
Like exactly,
Those
Cyclops
are the
needs to
newer
pull him
versions,
off
I
a
guess.
dude. Like hey, fucking don't kill him. We don't kill
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Um,
Loose cannon.
yeah, exactly.
High
So
temper.
my
Always
like
storming off.
my like out the gate
Fuck you
team.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
So
back.
no Logan.
yeah, exactly.
Jean, Scott, Marie Rogue, Remy. Fucking gotta have Gambit.
I know.
Gotta have Gambit.
Gotta have
Jubilee,
Gambit,
Xavier, Aurora, Bobby, Iceman. I gotta have Iceman. Hank. Fucking Kelsey Grammer has to play Hank for me.
What? Okay,
He
maybe
was
the
perfect.
voice.
He was perfect. Did you
Yeah.
see 3? You saw it Last Stand, right?
He was Kelsey,
Kelsey
Grammer.
Grammer.
Beast.
Oh,
Yeah,
stars and
on
colors.
point. On
What?
point.
He was
Yeah.
incredible.
I swear
He was
I saw
perfect.
that. I don't recall that.
Yeah,
That was him, yeah.
He was perfect.
Huh.
I picked Dylan Minnette for Bobby, who is
Oh, you're going actors now.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he
he's
was
doing
he was the
actors.
kid. He was the kid on 13 Reasons Why. It's on Netflix.
I don't watch a lot of stuff, to be honest.
Aurora, Kerry Washington, just fucking perfect fit for me. I would if she wasn't in the Marvel universe already. Oh my god, I keep forgetting her fucking name. T'Challa's mother. I always forget her fucking name for some reason. But she, for me, she's been
Yeah,
Storm
but she's
since the
already
90s.
but she's
Like-
already in the universe, so
Yeah. That was the thing. I definitely like pulled off from anyone that was already in the universe. So it was kind of. I actually felt that Jubilee, like you said, did not get a lot of face time in the movies. So the woman who played her in the last one, I would just give it to her again.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm sorry, Lana Condor. She did a really good job, but like she was on screen for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't count.
Especially with the like mall scene, like there was not enough Jubilee in the mall scene. I was real mad about that one.
Yeah.
I'm building up to Xavier. You're gonna love this.
Oh,
For Gambit, Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son.
Oh, okay.
He was. Did you? I was about to ask a stupid question because you have not seen Fast and Furious.
No, I want to see the new one though. Actually, that looks pretty fun.
Hell
So
yeah, they're fun.
So
That's
he actually,
what it is.
I don't know. He actually might be in it, but he's one of the like military guys like sending on missions and shit.
Oh, okay.
No, he was only in the one movie.
He was on. He was in 7. Yeah. I went with for Rogue. I went with. I'm going to show her to you, Emmanuel. It's fucking. I can't pronounce her last name. I pronounced it to Google and it pronounced it right back at me. like I searched for it by voice and Google was like, "You meant this. You meant this, you idiot." So did you ever see Entourage?
No.
Emmanuel Chiriki. She played one of the love interests. She's fucking
Could she
gorgeous.
do a Southern Belle accent?
She's gorgeous. I mean, that's a voice coach thing. Like, I think that's doable for anyone. But for me, like, Hottest made a really big point about this. She has to have a look.
Tell that to Keanu Reeves.
She has to have a look. What do you mean?
That you could teach an accent.
He's never tried to learn an accent.
Have you seen Dracula? Bram Stoker's Dracula? His attempt at an English accent? Oh.
Was he really?
It's a great...
I've seen that movie several times. I don't remember an accent. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably.
For Scott, I went with Zac Efron.
I've heard the name. I have no...
He's a great dude.
don't know what he
So
looks
he
like.
he came from Disney's kids shows,
Yeah.
High School Musical. But here's the thing: as an actor, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He has kicked
What's he
ass.
been in? Was he in the
He was in Baywatch.
He was yeah, okay, that's a good one to put him in. Yeah, he was in the new Baywatch, but he just did a movie about Ed that man. He just did a movie about the murderer that literally the Texas Chainsaw base.
Bundy?
Ed Bundy? Is that what?
Gaines,
Ted Bundy, yes,
right?
Ted Bundy.
Ed Gaines?
Ted Bundy?
Is it Ed Gaines?
Texas Chainsaw
I don't know.
is Ed
Look
Gaines.
it up. I forgot. Yeah, it is Ed Gaines that I don't know which one. I think he might have played Bundy.
I think he played Bundy.
Yeah, he played Bundy. But regardless, so like his acting is awesome. I mean, even when he first got into Hollywood acting,
Yeah,
when he
the show was called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
yeah, that's the movie actually name. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix
Yeah, Ted
movie.
Bundy.
But if you watch him, like he plays the
I
role.
can see he looks a little bit...
Dude, he
he's got
plays the
look.
role on
Ted
point.
Bundy, man.
But the guy's a
Dude.
great actor. He's done a lot of other movies that weren't huge. He did one with Matt Damon. He did another one with what's the guy that was just doing commercials that you were making fun of that you said had a lot of plastic surgery? Dennis
Hopper?
Quaid?
Leary?
Dennis Quaid, maybe.
The guy that did the fucking insurance commercials. He just did them. He's the only really big actor
Oh.
that just started doing
I think
insurance
his name was
commercials.
Dennis on 30 Rock.
Oh, we just talked about him. His daughter posted an NSFW.
No, not Alec Baldwin. Man.
Not Alec Baldwin.
It's Dennis Quaid. How do you
Dennis
not
Quaid?
know that?
Dennis Quaid was doing insurance commercials?
I have no idea what you're talking about. For Gene, then this was like when I first thought of this idea of finding people, I was like redhead actress because I don't have a catalog list.
Sure.
Tell me this isn't Jean Grey.
It could be Jean Grey.
Like
Could be broke too.
an adult Jean Grey. Like, because that for me.
Really? You don't remember these commercials? You don't know what I'm talking about? Where you saw the commercial, you literally made fun of him because you're like, oh, he's
Yeah,
getting
the
so much.
Oh, I forgot. I did
Yeah,
forget.
oh, you forgot about that.
I mean, I forgot the commercials.
Stop forgetting.
Fucking asshole.
But so he did
Oh, yeah,
he did a movie with him where Zac Efron plays his kid, very crazy. But like you can see, like the kid literally his first movie was with not Matt LeBlanc, but what's the other guy from Friends? Not Ross, the other guy.
David Schwimmer?
That's Ross. So
the guy
now-
from fucking Fools Rush In.
Yeah. Whatever his name is. He also did the Bruce Willis movies. Well, he did a movie with Zac Efron and where he turns back to a 17-year-old.
Huh.
And Zac Efron, he
yeah.
plays that role to a T. Like,
I forgot about
I
that.
was
It's called-
shocked.
I think it's
I
called
was-
17 again.
yeah, 17 again or something like
It's
that.
literally like he had like a wife and kids, and then just like was like made like a wish or some shit.
Yeah,
And,
and
like,
he literally
woke
becomes
up as his 17-year-old self.
and Zac
And he did
Efron
a
plays
really
the
good job
And
playing him.
I was like, this is your first Halloween movie, and you do a great
Yeah, 'cause
job
he
in a
came out of High School
comedic.
Musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. And then after that, I just kept watching him play all different kinds of roles, and I'm like, dude, this guy has range, and this guy came
Wow.
from Disney,
Yeah.
like just Disney stuff.
Look at Miley Cyrus. She came from
I mean, yeah, but look at, I mean, even Shia LaBeouf. Like, I know
Oh,
people,
yeah,
I know
Shia,
Shia's
yeah.
been like, oh, the guy's going crazy and shit. But like, if you actually,
He's just making a statement.
no, yeah,
no,
he's,
no.
I'm an adult and I'm
I watched
creative.
that interview recently.
you watched the interview, yeah.
He's actually, I mean, like, he had some shit to deal with, but like he's dealing with it in a super positive way. Like he's leading an acting troupe in like a really disenfranchised part of LA with like people who don't have homes. Like
Yeah.
he
Wow.
started like a community
That's cool.
center.
That's really cool.
Like and he literally like teaches every Sunday. Like he's there.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
very nice.
yeah,
But
it's-
his, like, you watch his acting on anything that he does, like,
he's really good.
he's amazing. His range, like, emotional range is fucking,
Sure. Oh, yeah.
dude, I
Oh,
watched
no.
the one where it's
And
supposed
you
to be
gotta
a,
little crazy to do the creative stuff.
oh yeah, and he's not even crazy. He just had so the one thing where he's on the green screen saying just do
That's
it,
awesome.
literally it is from a thing where he does all different bits. He's
Yeah.
taking scripts and he's reading them in front of a camera. And so that was one of them. But somebody took it out of context, posted it up, was like, Shia LaBeouf going crazy. Like,
I
no,
thought he
not
posted
really.
It up for people to use to put in memes.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe he did.
That's what I
but,
was thinking.
but regardless, it wasn't like he just did that
Right. No.
to
yeah.
look crazy.
Right.
He did that
There's
for
a method to the madness.
no, exactly. So, but I mean, those guys. I mean, and so when he said Zac Efron, I was like, "Fuck! I want Zac Efron and Shia in one of these movies, but I just don't know how to fit him." Because I went with a more younger cast, thinking like, "Okay, Disney's not releasing this shit until at least like next 5 to 10 years, so they're gonna be in their 30s for the guys I picked."
Shia
So,
LaBeouf is Wolverine.
No,
No.
no.
Give him a little wig. A little.
I think he could do it.
I think so too.
I've never
actually.
seen
I
him
mean, it's
bulk
kind
up,
of. I'm
though.
just throwing
What?
it out there to be funny, but I think he really good.
Look up a movie he did with Matt.
He said that like I've seen all the movies he's ever done.
Oh, you should. You should
He's
see
kinda
him.
ripped. He's short.
He's short. He's 100%
attitude,
short, but
or he's capable
he's
of
been
acting
bulked
with it.
up and he
Yeah.
can do both. But look at he did a movie with the guy Matt. What's his name? The guy that did Venom. Tom Hardy. Thank
Yeah.
you. I
This?
There you go.
no, but
Throw
that's
some claws
not
on
him. But look for the movie he did when
Oh,
you
that
you'll
one.
see him. Yeah, like he can bulk up, my man. So
Look at my abs.
I'm not worried about if he can bulk up or not. And he's short, and he's had a goofy looking haircut where it almost looks
There you
like
go.
Wolverine's haircut. So
He's got
like,
thick
he
hair, so
could
they
do
easily
it.
do that.
at a later time, because at a
Sure.
later time he'll be mid 30s.
Yeah.
Because right now he's what, close to late 20s.
Yeah.
So by the
He
time,
looks older than he is, though.
well, yeah, because he always grows the beard out, and
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
he had some rough patches. Like his dad was a very bad.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a Wolverine look right there.
Yeah, he gains
That's
a
good.
little bit. He
Like,
gains
that's
a little
good.
bit more
That's a
muscle.
joke, but it
That's
could
good.
work.
I'll give you that. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
hell yeah, dude. Shia LaBeouf, and he's got the acting.
Bub, hey, bub.
That's
I'm
good.
telling you,
That's
man.
good.
Send me that picture. I'll
That's-
Photoshop it.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
start
That's
a
good.
thing on Twitter.
Let's do it.
See what the world
Let's do it.
I'm doing it right now.
Because he's got range, man. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody
he
says about
does.
this guy.
He actually does.
His acting is on point. You watch it, like, dude, I watched the one where it looks like it's a post-apocalyptic after he gets out of, like, the military. It looks like the world has ended.
Yeah, what was that called? With Brad Pitt and stuff?
No, that's Fury. That's a different one. This was a more like low
I'm caught
budget.
up by him on it.
This was a more low budget, and his buddy from the military is with him. If you actually watch the movie, holy shit!
Cool.
Wow.
I like military movies. movies. I don't know
Wow.
why. I've always
Listen.
been drawn to military movies.
In my version, it's because they've had this scenario of like they had to disappear. They've been around for a while. They've been around for 10, 15 years already. So my X-Men are like ready to retire. Maybe they got kids now because they were like inactive for a few years.
Okay.
So like
So you're
that's why
closing the chapter.
right. That's why I have like Alexandra Breckenridge is she looks like she could be. I mean, I think she is in her late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
But like she looks like she could be 35, and settling down.
Sorry to the actress. It's not really a compliment.
I
She's
mean, I
in her
don't-
late 20s, but she looks like she's 30.
I'm saying she looks like she could be 35, but a good-looking 35. Jesus Christ! I am not. Listen, I'm not. I'm no.
Way to insult everybody.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your ego. If you feel bad about that, fuck off. Like, no. But like, this whole thing, and this is why and it also kind of works together in the Onslaught saga. Jean found out that Xavier used to have thoughts about her.
Yeah,
Because they came back from a mission, he's like, we're fine. Like, don't worry about us. And, like, he had a thought, like, that Onslaught showed her of, how could I not think about, like, how could I not be worried about the woman that I love?
yeah.
And it, like, fucking shook her. Because he was, like, a father figure to her.
So you're going to cast Steve Martin as...
So, Jesus Christ. No. I cast Matt Damon as Xavier.
What?
Matt Damon bold has
Bro,
Xavier.
Matt
Look.
Damon as Xavier.
Oh, I mean, all
Bro.
right.
Look
It
at it.
was
Show
one of
him
those
the
things-
bald look.
Okay.
It was one of those things that I was like,
Like, you
really?
totally blew my mind on that one.
Exactly. But like,
All right.
You look at-
He's a great actor, so
He is. I
it's
mean,
all about the acting.
yeah, 100%. Don't get me wrong. I love James
Dude,
McAvoy as
dude.
Xavier.
I didn't even see this face. Look at this face.
Oh,
He's thinking about. He's getting the he's fucking trying to
Matt
get into
Damon,
your
Matt
brain.
Damon.
that sells it for me.
He's trying to get into your brain. But no, what I was saying
But
is
so,
what I was saying is Xavier has to be when he walks in a room, when he rolls in a room, you have to feel bad for him because he's crippled.
Yeah.
But he has to be approachable. His face has to be like calm and like you tell me that with come on. You tell me that with this face right here, and I swear to God if it fucking loads a shitty fucking photo. If he's sitting in a chair, you wouldn't listen to what this man had to say. Like, he could convince you that maybe mutants aren't so bad.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that I'm going for with Xavier. This guy decided on Luke Evans as Wolverine.
Who's Luke Evans?
the guy that did Dracula, the new Dracula
The new
movie, he
Dracula.
was also in one of the Fast and Furious movies. He was in Beauty and the Beast. He was Gustav or whatever.
I did see
Gaston.
that. I don't remember it though.
Show him a picture.
My film knowledge.
Yeah,
is like,
no worries. But I think
90s and
because once again, I'm picking
Mostly
like
old.
Wolverine's older than everybody else, so I'm picking him. Let's say like they start filming in 5 to 10 years. Luke Evans is already mid-30s at least, so like he's gonna be in his 40s by then. So he's gonna have that look where he's older and stuff like that. I picked.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
And so I picked the guy that played the Red.
Looks a lot like
I picked the guy that played Red Ranger
Yeah, right.
in the new Power Rangers movie.
That's
He
Scott.
also played Billy in Stranger Things. He was the guy, the older brother of like one of the girls that came in season 2.
Yeah.
I picked him as Scott because he just has that look for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I picked.
I can
Naomi
see it.
Scott Jean.
I
So
picked
Kimberly from
I-
the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
movie.
so from
Also
the Power Rangers
Jasmine.
movie, she
Okay.
was also Jasmine in Aladdin.
So her as Jean.
her as Jean. The same girl that played Jubilee in the last movie. Once again, I agree with him. She was a perfect fit, and she had 5 minutes. So like nobody's gonna remember the 5 minutes.
Jason Isaacs as Xavier.
You
Show 'em.
Need to see a picture.
Show 'em. It looks. If you see it, I was like, it works. It's perfect. I picked. Let's see here. I think we agreed on Storm, because we said Storm and Xavier should be similar age.
Yeah.
So close to similar age.
What about Bruce Willis as like an older, flirty kind of
Yeah.
Professor Xavier? Huh.
Charles Xavier.
See, I
And he has very similar features to McAvoy, so it almost works.
He has more mystique.
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
face. Not the character, but you know what I mean.
I
Definitely
picked.
go with him above
You
Mystique.
saw the Fan Four Stick movie?
I did.
So Miles Teller, Reed Richards,
Okay.
Morph.
I picked.
Not bad.
I picked the same guy he picked for Iceman, which is the guy from 13 Reasons Why. He was actually also in Goosebumps movie, the newer one, not part 2, but the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in a bunch of other things. Who did I pick for Cannonball?
No, for Cannonball you picked. So did you see? You saw. What the fuck's her name? Fucking Jennifer Lawrence movies. Hunger Games.
Oh yes, I
Haven't
picked.
seen
You
it.
haven't seen Hunger Games?
Haven't seen
Fuck. Then you have no point of reference. But the friend PETA in the movies.
Okay.
His name is
Peter,
Josh.
Like Peter Pocket?
His name is.
Peter, like Peter.
It's
in
actually
New York
like Peter Pocket.
Yeah,
Okay.
Except it's PET. Like PETA, like the organization.
yeah, like the
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's weird.
But his real name is like John
Josh Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
He sounds like a corn poke.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That name before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm sure
recognize
you've
it
seen
from other
yeah.
things.
So
So I picked them as
he's
Cannonball. Who did I pick for? There was a guy. Good look for Gambit. Good
Alex
It's
Pettyford.
tough.
good. Yeah, he's got that. Like he could have that look, and he's a little older, right? So like when he goes with Rogue, there's that
Yeah,
risk.
okay.
Like he's got a little bit more experience when he goes for Rogue and keeps flirting with
Right.
her.
Yeah.
But then the girl I picked for Rogue,
Nina Dobrev, dude.
dude.
Wasn't there supposed to be a Gambit movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't
There
Channing
was
Tatum
with Channing
supposed to?
Tatum, but I'm thinking they maybe held it off because, like, as soon as they were gonna start making it, that there was
You know what's funny?
talks like Marvel's
You know
gonna
what's
buy.
funny?
Sure.
Your Rogue looks a fucking lot like my Rogue.
I know she has similar look.
Like so weird.
How funny is that they look
Sorry about
very
that,
similar?
bud.
But this is the girl for Rogue.
Huh.
I feel like she has a very
That's
good
so
look
funny.
to her.
She looks a lot like her.
And then Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, you went with Naomi Scott.
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah, that's right. Jasmine.
Kimberly from the Power
Yeah.
Rangers movie Jasmine. From the
And I think that's.
Kitty.
Oh, Morph. I picked.
The guy from Fan Four Stick, right?
Yes, you're right. I did. I forgot that we said that.
Kitty Pryde.
I went with that for Kitty.
Yeah. I legit looked
What's her
for Jewish Odeya Rush.
Odeya Rush.
I legit looked for Jewish actress, and I was like, "Fuck, that's perfect. She looks great. Like she fits the role perfectly."
It's all about having. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think I was greatly surprised
Yeah,
when
like
I
she
watched.
looks like she took computer science in school.
Sure.
So it's all about. For me, there is such a thing as like who do I when I see them. Like for instance, the guy that played Cyclops at the new movies, great actor.
Yeah.
But when I saw him, I was like, that's not Cyclops. Cyclops got this
I didn't like
chisel
him.
look.
I didn't like
like
him.
I liked
Like
John James Morrison, the guy that played Cyclops in the
James.
originals.
Yeah.
Like
Masters.
he's more of a
No,
no, I think it's Morrison or
it's
something
not
like that.
Morrison. Damn it.
Oh, we'll Google it regardless. Marson.
James Marston.
Okay.
There it
Marston.
is. We're close.
yeah,
About
whatever.
a mix of what we said.
Like he had more of a look. Hey,
It's combined.
so,
We've
Cameron.
created a person.
He had more of a look for Cyclops. And then I see this new kid and I'm like, you don't have the look. Like you're a great actor. But every time I see you on there and you're wearing the eye beams, like I'm like,
You don't believe
you
it.
still don't look like Cyclops to
I'm
me.
not gonna
Like,
lie to you. I don't know why, but they gave. I think it was the Silver Visor. They gave Scott, even though he had a Silver Visor in the original trilogy, they gave Scott a Silver Visor in the new Uncanny series after he came back from the dead. It looks like shit. It looks fucking dumb.
Right.
And every shot it's in, I'm like, fuck it looks stupid. It looks weird.
Just the kid to me didn't have it. Like nothing about him made me believe it was Scott Summers. But then, Scott's a little bit of a dick. He can be.
At least he's
Yeah.
portrayed.
Yeah,
that.
right. And so I'm like, well, the guy that plays Billy, Billy's a dick, and he plays that role pretty good.
Right.
Plus, he's
Well,
He
played.
has that reputation. already.
Plus, he's played an
But
action
but-
role where he was the Red Ranger, and he played more of a
And that's
serious role
And
there.
that's Red
Remember?
Ranger and Scott Summers, like Jason Lee Scott and Scott Summers are kind of like very similar dudes.
Right.
Like leader, gotta like make sure everyone's okay. Like I've got to be the one to.
So
make
that's
the call.
why. So that's why when I
Like-
told them, I was like, they have to. I have to visually believe that is them.
Yeah.
So like I've
100%
always
art.
envisioned these looks, and
Angela
so
Bassett. God damn it! It took me all day to remember.
so I've envisioned these looks, and I'm sitting there. I'm
That's
like,
Professor X.
like if I yeah. It's like if I'm watching it and like I'm seeing you and you're a great actor, but like I can't like your look. It just doesn't fit that idea of what I had in my head. Like sorry, even if it's a shitty thing for some people to hear that, like I envision these characters as something, some kind of a physique
They're
or
iconic,
or facial features that like if I'm not seeing it,
Yeah.
I can't like it
comes
takes
from
me
a
out of
graphic
it.
medium,
Yeah.
you know, where you have
So-
extreme control over the look.
Exactly,
So,
exactly. So
they become
don't get me wrong.
icons.
So yeah, so some of these, I won't even lie to you. Some of these actresses and actors that we pick, I maybe haven't seen acting, or at least I don't remember. So I can't say that they're good actors. But shit, I mean, I saw the Power Rangers movie with actors and actresses that I've never seen, or at least that I don't remember. And then I watched that movie, and I was like, for what that movie was, like they did a great job. Like they did those
was
roles
fun.
great, and I was like, I'm
I
shocked.
don't even care about.
Yeah,
Power
exactly.
Rangers
And I
too
was like,
much.
wow, that was impressive. Like good job
And
for good job for a set of teens that I've never seen act,
Yeah.
and they did a good job.
Yeah,
It's fun.
and now Mattel's talking about doing another one.
Redo
Really, a reboot already?
apparently.
Huh. Interesting.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know, which you already had a great cast. Plus, you had Bryan Cranston.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he's
Weird.
part of.
It's
And he's.
weird.
I mean, I don't know if I told you about this, but Bryan Cranston is part of Power Ranger mythology.
Yeah, he played a
He
bunch
did
of
the
different
Yeah, he was the
Really?
voice for a lot of the
villains
bad guys,
Yeah.
and then that's why they named Billy Cranston.
Oh wow.
in the movie. They named him Billy
Well, in the
Cranston.
comic, in the original show too.
Oh, did they? I didn't
that's
realize
that's
it.
where it
Yeah.
came from. Yeah, they named
Wow.
Billy Cranston because he was on the show, and
Yeah.
he was doing a ton of the voices.
Todd.
That's interesting.
Because a lot of
How
it,
crazy
a lot
is
of it was
that?
just like
That-
Japanese footage.
How
that they voiced
crazy
over.
is that?
Played
That
what,
Cranston,
Stardom, I think.
Yeah,
that
he plays
Cranston was. He's this badass actor, but he
Yeah.
came from such a show like goddamn Power Rangers.
Yeah, in the middle and
Yeah, but you also got to look at it like of I would say of
Range.
a few things that Jessica Jones did have going for it. The one character,
Oh, he's
the neighbor,
awesome, yeah.
the neighbor is really fucking good. He's from Power Rangers. He was a Red Ranger.
But yeah, but that's still a rarity. Like
It is, but like it is. I mean, I'd say it's a rarity to a point. Granted, ratio-wise, there's a lot more Rangers than there are
Right.
really good actors that came
right.
out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
But like, it's still like a pretty consistent thing. Like pretty much, one every generation makes it out really big. Like one of the I think Ninja Storm Rangers is iZombie. And she's really good
Yeah.
in that role. Like she
Oh my god,
plays
she
this-
plays
I don't know
Rangers
if you
like
ever have you
crazy.
seen that show.
No.
It's she's a zombie, but she's like fully in control if she eats brains. So,
Huh.
but she also then takes on the personality
So
traits of those
comic
people.
similar, isn't
Yeah.
it, actually?
But that is it's based off the comic.
Yeah, it's based
Oh,
on
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So she takes on the personality traits, and like she plays like neurotic, obsessed to like really bubbly and outgoing.
And she
to,
does
like,
a great
do-
job.
Like, and she's
Every
really
time
good.
she
just
plays
like
it-
on that's what I was saying on Doom Patrol. The girl that plays Crazy Jane, same kind of concept. She has all these multiple
Yeah.
personalities, and I'm like, she does such a good job.
Heard she's really
Like,
good.
if you did
Excited
not,
to
if
see
they
that.
didn't do
I'm not-
this, like,
No joke. It's not an overreaction. She's amazing.
Yeah.
legitimately, if they didn't do this, like, force field thing that happens when she shifts, you
would
wouldn't
think she's
know
crazy.
that it happened.
Yeah.
Huh.
You would just think she's crazy.
She just switches. And I don't know how much of it is editing and cuts, but, like, it doesn't feel like cuts.
No. It
Because
feels like she
a couple
just
of the
straight.
characters, don't change appearance. They still look like her. They just their appearance inside, like they like did this whole thing inside her brain, like who they look like isn't necessarily her, but so that doesn't come through. Some of them aspects do. So like there's one that like she will say words.
And they come
They
out.
turn into like metal shards that she
Yeah.
can control. It's fucking craziest power. But like when she changes into her like her hair goes back like in a specific style. So like she changes her appearance.
Wow.
Whereas when she changes into Hammerhead, she just gets this tattoo on her chest. Which I'm like, I don't know that this is a cut. And I don't know if that maybe they just pasted that on fucking CG because we're not like staring at it. It's there. She's moving around and shit. So
But she's still. I mean, regardless.
but she just does such a good job, like instant flip, and I'm like, God damn, that's so good. It's like normal, like everyday, like and then like just instant. And I'm like, fuck.
No, and it's
so
badass.
good.
Cool.
And like I can respect that. They're like one of the dudes from Lightspeed Rescue fucking is like a country R&B singer dude.
Good for
I
them.
was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, just like there's been people that are off that show that, and I like people like that like use something like that, something that's like easy to get to springboard into better shit and bigger shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I'm sure there are people who went to Power Rangers that are like, I'm cool forever just going to Power Ranger conventions and being a Power Ranger until I fucking die. Like, Jason David Frank, as much as I like him,
He's
even
a bad
his new
actor.
movie,
He's a bad actor.
he's not a great actor at all, but his new movie is a Power Ranger movie.
Right.
It's like a knockoff
Yeah.
Power Ranger movie.
Yeah.
Was he
With a
Red
bunch of-
Ranger, Green Ranger?
White Dragon.
Okay.
He is the White Ranger and the Green Ranger and the Black Ranger and the Red Ranger
He's
and
all the Rangers.
He was a lot of Rangers.
yeah.
I heard he's a really nice dude.
He seems like a
He's super
literally
cool, and he'll beat your ass if you like try to fight him. Because there was some dude who tried to fight him.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, that's right.
Really?
Jean-Claude Van Damme
tried
was
to fight him.
tried to fight him at a con, and he was like, right now.
Oh, I heard about
And
that.
Jason David Frank is like, let's go, because he's a fighter. He's a
He's
martial
MMA.
artist,
Yeah.
He's MMA.
and
We
he's
say
like,
that.
let's go. I mean, he's like, I know you are a martial artist too, but let's see what you got. Let's do it right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Well, and the only reason the thing at the Comic-Con, like he was trying to ignore him, but he like pushed him or something, and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't put your hands on me.
Yeah.
Like you can talk all the shit you want, he said, but it's like you don't put your hands on me. When you do that, you're asking for it. I was ready to go. So
Right.
and I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme, but you do something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
And then his show got canceled.
That should have canceled. That's right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
He had a show on
Yeah,
Amazon, like Jean-Claude.
JCVD. We just call it JCVD.
Huh.
I thought it was called something Johnson.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was like, JCVD was his movie
That's
about
right.
him.
You're right.
I was like,
Well, because like the show is also like set up kind of about him. Like he was an actor, but in reality he was like a super spy.
yeah.
Okay.
But so yeah, but no, like if you actually see, like he's very helpful. Like he stopped, like literally there was a guy on the side of a road, car broke down, and he helped push him to a safe area.
Wow.
Yeah, just got out of his car and he's like, let me help you out.
That's
Like
awesome.
he's genuinely a cool guy. He'll talk to his fans and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like here's the thing, like he ain't a great actor, but you know what? He's still doing everything that he can. Like
He does.
he owns martial art. Like he's a
Heard that,
teacher and he owns a bunch of different studios to teach martial arts, and so there's all that going for him. So it's not like he's got to worry about to act, but he still does all the conventions for the
living a
Rangers,
fulfilled
and
life.
yeah, and anytime somebody wants to do something with him for the Power Ranger stuff, he will do it. Like this whole thing is on YouTube. It's from Ben the Sun guys. They want to. It's called White Dragon. So essentially, it's literally him being a mixture of the great.
Dragon,
Yeah.
But they're crowdfunding it.
Yeah, they're crowdfunding to see if they can get the. And
But
they want
it's like him. It's a bunch of other Power Ranger people. Like it's interesting.
That's cool.
It's interesting.
It's kind of like a tribute thing.
Kind of,
Basically,
but it's like post-apocalyptic. Like they're
it's in the future.
yeah. It like opens up with him being chased down, and it turns out it's them. They're all former quote unquote Rangers, and they're like
They're trying to get him to fight with them.
yeah. They're like you need to fight with us. Like your daughter's alive. So like there's like motivation. It's like it's cheesy. It's cheesy. Like the script is pretty cheesy, but whatever. It's worth it. I think it's a fun. It could be a fun thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's not a great actor. Most of the people on those shows are not great actors.
But there are some here and
But
there.
some of the some of the stories there are really good. And like what I didn't like for a long time, you had a lot of these motherfuckers that were like trying to be something bigger and badder. Like fucking the fuck's his actual name? The guy who played Jason.
Olong Johnson.
No, Austin St. John. Austin
I was
St. John.
close.
Austin
You were,
St.
actually,
John.
ironically enough.
Austin St. John for a long time was like trying to distance himself from the brand. He like won the military and shit. Like I mean, like I respect him for what he did, but like he was trying to distance himself from the brand. He was trying to like make this like rugged survivalist kind of things on YouTube, and like nothing was popping. Guess what started popping in his life? When he started doing fucking conventions again, and started doing Power Ranger shit again.
Yeah.
People started giving a fuck, because like he like. People like that, sometimes they don't realize, like, if you don't pay tribute to your fucking audience, the people who, like, made you who you are now, you're fucking gonna suffer out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he wanted to do his own show, but, like, you don't care about us to show up at a con.
yeah.
And we don't
I see.
care about your own show.
I see.
So,
Because he was, did that movie ever get funded? The
No.
Order?
Interesting.
no, I don't think so.
Because he was also doing a movie with, like, a bunch of the Power Ranger people, where it was, like, similar. I almost feel like it was like a similar thing, just not like Ranger based.
It wasn't
They were just,
Ranger
like,
based, but
Soldiers
it
of
was,
Fortune
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I
Yeah,
might have to look into it because they had a bunch of stuff filmed already. I don't know what happened with it. Because I doubt they would just be like, we spent like 6 months filming a bunch of shit, but like fuck it, let's throw it away.
All right.
Like I doubt you would just throw
Burn
it
it
away.
all.
Burn it, like nobody wants it.
Although I don't know, I've worked on a couple films that still haven't come out.
Hey, it
Really?
happens.
About that, yeah.
I mean, don't
You'd
get
be
surprised. It
surprised.
happens. That's why the budget rolled over onto, what was it, Man of Steel?
No,
And then-
Superman Returns.
Whatever,
Superman
Superman
Returns has a quote unquote budget of $350 million because
because they were
Superman
trying.
lives.
Superman lives, but it never got made. But the money was spent.
By the way, I'll send you a copy of The Death of Superman Lives. What happened is a great fucking documentary. You see, like the guy whose fault it was. Let's just be serious.
He's crazy.
Here. He's fucking insane.
He's crazy. He's cooking for Cocoa Puffs.
He like, oh my god, dude.
This wasn't the Nicolas Cage.
It was.
Yeah,
Oh, that
was
one?
Superman
Oh,
Lives.
oh,
yeah.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a good.
The budget from
Dude,
that, all the
Cage
money they
was-
spent got
Cage
rolled
was-
over
Cage
into
spent so
Superman
much
Returns.
time, like they built suit after suit, like they spent a lot of time, like getting him ready, and just like the shit behind the scenes kept falling apart.
That's crazy.
Because he was gonna die and come back. Like the whole Death of Superman thing was gonna be in there.
Oh.
Like that whole arc was gonna be in there. But this dude, like legit, like Kevin Smith wrote a script, and he goes to him and he's like, "I want him to fight a Thanagarian snare beast," and he describes it. And he's like, "It's a giant fucking spider." The fuck are you talking about? Like, and you see him say, and like it's funny, like the way the guy, you know, rest in peace, John Schnepp, the way he edited it and put
He
it together.
passed away.
He did this whole documentary thing. The way he cut it, he's talking to Kevin Smith, and he's like, the producer wanted him to fight a giant spider, and it cuts back to the guy, and he's like, oh yeah, the Thanagarian snare beast, and like, I'm like, you like really think this was a good idea?
Wow.
So that's why in the Superman Doomsday, when Kevin Smith has his like tiny appearance, he makes fun of the fact that the Superman's fighting a giant fucking spider.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, by the way, that guy ended up going to produce Wild Wild West, in which there is a giant fucking spider.
Wow, connection. He's got a thing
Like
for
fucking
giants.
it's
I'm
giant
gonna get it
fucking
one way or
spiders.
another.
He's gonna get it one way. or
I
another.
was just like, when I found that out, I was like,
That's
oh my
funny.
god, he's got a real mad off fucking spiders. Like,
That's
He got it
funny.
done.
because that's the thing. Like, I was on board with Wild Wild West. As fucking weird and ridiculous as it was super hokey. But then this
It was
motherfucker
entertaining.
turned on a giant mechanical spider, and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I'm okay
It
with
got
it.
awesome.
I'm okay
That's
with
what
it.
happened.
Yeah,
It
I
got
agree.
awesome.
I agree. I enjoyed it.
No, it was still a fun movie, but I was just like, what the fuck, left
I
turn?
love stuff.
Like, they
that.
were
I
just
like
literally,
weird
they were
stuff like
just-
we were talking about earlier.
I had tons of fun with
Like, they were
that.
just laying down railroads, and you're telling me this motherfucker has giant robot spider
dude.
People were
technology?
like, that movie was shit, and I'm like, I had
was
fun.
fun
I
as
had
shit.
fun watching
It was fun
it.
as shit.
I'm-
I love the backstories of it too because, it was supposed to be, you know, obviously Wild Wild West times and like the fucking the railroad expansion in America.
I mean, Wild Wild
And
West, but
when-
it felt like steampunk to me.
Oh, totally.
yeah, exactly,
Totally.
exactly.
And that's why I love it.
That's where they went. But like when Will Smith's agent called him, because I watched the interview about it, he's like when he called me, he's like, oh, you're gonna be playing a Secret Service agent in the 1800s, and he's like, but I'm black. And he's like, no, don't worry, no one will know. And I was like, what the fuck?
No. No one will know.
But then they like played a bunch of shit about like, did you just call me boy? Like, oh man. But like, there's like, I like a lot of the behind the scenes shit for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like where it's like it's a ridiculous movie. Like the first Transformers, listen to the fucking commentary.
Really?
I've watched it like 4 times. Because I used to, when I worked at Radio Shack, that's when it came out. I watched that, because I watched the movie so many times, I was like, fuck it, let me just put the commentary on. Dude, the shit is fucking hilarious. Because Bay talks about the fact that when they went into this Japanese, like, studio, where a bunch of these graphic artists and shit were there, and he was like trying to hire people basically, and he was like, here's what we have so far, and he puts up this image, and it's this fat, like legit, like wide ass Optimus Prime, and he's like, I swear to God, he's like, this Japanese guy stands up and he's like, this Optimus Prime is insult to Japanese people, and I was like, he's like, so I hired him on the spot, and the guy ended up doing the Black Hawk Chopper when it transforms.
Okay.
He did that part, like he did that part. And I was like, that's such a fucking cool story. Like, shit's fucking hilarious.
Hire the guy.
I
I was like, fuck, you're hired. Like, you seem to have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I do love behind the scenes.
Yeah,
stuff.
behind the
Get a
scenes.
lot
That's
of
why I love.
insight.
That's why, like, I'm been staring at the sketchbook the whole time, and like, I'm like, that's that shit, dude. Sell that.
Behind the scenes.
Sell that
It
shit.
is.
Sell that shit in
It
5
is.
years,
It's
man.
just
Like,
life drawing
exactly,
stuff.
exactly. I love. I'm a process junkie, man. I love fucking
I thought
sketchbooks.
about putting out something like that.
Do it, man.
Just
Do
like
it, dude. I'm, literally every single person we
book
go.
of studies.
Every single person we go to at cons, and I see like they have prints, and then they have nothing else and stickers and shit. I was like, do you have an art book or a sketchbook?
There you go.
I want to buy that from you.
Yeah.
Like, I like your shit, but I don't have wall space,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't
Or
want
money for
15.
originals and stuff. I've thought about that because I get a lot of offers on eBay for some of my original stuff.
I'm telling you.
Trying to undercut me.
Yeah,
Right.
And I've thought, a lot of people like multiple stuff. Why not just put it into a
Do
book?
Do it.
Sketchbook, man.
Do it.
100%.
That's
100%.
definitely coming down.
We just talked to a guy. I fucking Othel Flower, I think is his last name. I forget his last name. But he's the artist we met at a convention, and I've seen him a couple times now. And I was like, dude, like, I need you to get a sketchbook together so I can buy it from you. And he's like, I keep meaning to. He's like, but time. And I was like,
seriously, man.
I was like,
It's
I'll
hard
do
to
it
put
for
together
you.
books.
I was like, I'll fucking do it for you, bro. Like, so you can sell it. Like, and he's like, I don't know about budget. I'm like, we'll figure out the budget. I just want you to be able to sell shit. Like,
Yeah.
because that's like, it's an easy print depending on your format that you choose. Like, you could do like a big art book later that's nicely bound and shit, but like, you could do Kinko's prints of sketchbooks, bro. Like, like, get a decent 110 paper. Like, it can look good and be cheap. Like,
I like the model that some people are doing. Not a lot, but it's kind of a new thing happening where they'll spend time on a really nice hardcover book or even softcover of like like a trade 1 through 6,
Yeah.
beginning of something, and then also put out an art book at the same time.
Oh, that'd be
like
that's
because then you have a
like
ton of work that you did.
I mean, people sometimes don't realize how much work goes into the work
100%.
other than the work.
100%.
Like my little 4-page Goblins comic, I got enough content to make it my own little art book just from that.
Yeah.
You should.
I am. That is a plan.
Dude,
just haven't done it yet.
that's a process. That's a beginning to end book.
Yeah.
And the last 4 pages are the comic, but up till then it's like the process
like
of making
goes
it.
into this.
The
I did a
like
lot of
character
design
creation.
work for that.
I'm
A
saying
lot.
character creation pages, like page layout pages,
Yep.
like dude.
Yeah.
That's the kind of that's super cool shit. Like people
I
fucking
like
eat that shit
stuff.
up.
I just bought one today.
I'm
Hell
saying
yeah.
people eat that shit up. Like
That's
not only like it's cool and it's a cheaper option for people. Like
Sure.
maybe they don't have $25-$30 for your whole book,
Yeah.
but like $10 for your sketch. Yeah, this is dope. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And like again, if you do
I
it,
love
if you
that
do it like a Kinko's or whatever, if you just like really small, like 10, 20
Well,
pagers,
small press stuff I could do at home. That's why I bought that.
you do have the big boy. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
I'm still looking into.
But you could do that shit at home. You put some nice paper to it. Like your cost goes drastically down,
Absolutely.
and you sell a $5 sketchbook.
Yeah.
which costs
It's
you
virtually all profit.
$1.25 to make.
Yeah, not even.
Like-
not even. I got it down to, with the right materials, it's like under $1 for even like a 20-page comic, full size.
Full size?
Yeah.
Holy
I just
shit!
got to get a hold of the right paper.
Right.
That's only if I make under 100 copies.
Right,
If I make
right,
over
right.
100, then
But that's the
I
thing.
better order this from someplace.
I don't want
But
to.
that's not
Jesus
like.
Christ.
But that's not.
We're
to
out. We're out
undercut
of.
the
Or was that
customer
maybe?
either,
Oh,
you know?
that's it.
You're still delivering a quality product.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
Is that dead?
Yeah, it's dead.
Dang.
Oh, it's dead.
Oh, it's hot. It's
Kill
warm.
Yeah. And what's that?
That's all we got. That's all we got. Still going.
All right.
We killed
Yeah,
it.
is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. I mean, at the end of the day, we just put a fucking sticker on it and call it audio. But we're pretty much, closing up here. But like, there was a guy. I don't want to name him because like we pretty much like parted ways because I didn't necessarily like how he was treating his audience.
He
Is this
should.
the guy that took 6 years to make the
No, that's a different dude.
I don't want to call anyone out. I was just
No,
looking
that's
for
a different dude.
context.
That's a different dude, and he's still on the hook. And I bring it up to him every once in a while.
He still
'Cause,
hasn't
like,
made it.
He
so.
still hasn't made it, and
That's
he's been talking about like, we're talking 7 years now. He's talking about, I'm working on it, and
No,
I appreciate you guys, and like I'm gonna do something for you, blah blah. I'm like, that's cool, but like,
7 years, homie.
here's the thing,
7 years. Dude.
There's
he's
no excuse
focusing-
anymore.
No excuse.
No
he's
excuse.
focusing very heavily on social presence, bro. I'm talking like 2 to 4 times a week. He's putting out a new sketch, or like I found this other sketch, and I'm like, but I don't. Let me rephrase that. Not a sketch.
Right.
I mean, like he says, "Oh, this is 1970s Blade. I went ahead and redesigned Blade. Here's this print-ready fucking piece.
Oh, okay.
Like I went ahead and redesigned
some
Blade.
time
Here
into
is
it.
this 3-paragraph explanation of what this is and why I do it and why I designed it this way."
Wow.
I'm like, you've spent a day on this piece,
At least.
and
Are they colored?
where is this? No, not colored,
Okay.
but like
Maybe
a day on this piece, and you don't have this book that you've been working on for 7 years, and it's one issue, Mike. It's not a trade. It's not
Right.
a 6-issue arc.
Right.
It's one fucking issue.
Has he put out anything before?
No.
Okay, so
No.
maybe it's a.
Oh no!
case
Let
of-
me rephrase that. He did with like a team of other people. They
Oh,
put out
okay.
another series. We saw them at a comic convention, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I had brought it up to them, and they're like, "Yeah, believe me, we all are."
Huh.
And I was like, "So it's not just me."
No.
And like my $50, I said goodbye to that shit 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Like whatever to that. I'm bought into that universe. I love the character. I love the universe idea. I want to fucking read the story.
I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's a perfectionism thing. If it's they
No.
didn't know where they were going.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I think he maybe doesn't think it's good enough.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I meant by the perfectionism.
I don't even think it's I don't think it's perfectionism. I just think he maybe is seeing what other people are putting out, and he doesn't think it's good enough.
Compare and despair. See, that's why you don't look at what other people are putting out. While you're
100%.
trying to put something out.
Yeah.
No, you
Do
you're,
your shit.
you're not supposed to.
You
Don't
gotta
compare
focus.
yourself to others. That's like
No.
me making my videos and be like, man, are they as good as that?
Yeah.
That video right there. Like, why do I'm
The
not?
only competition
Like
you
they've
should
been
have
doing
is
it way
yourself.
longer than me. Of
Right.
course, it's not going
Well-
to be as good. But as long as it's as good as like I can get it to be, and then keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. I have like a strict rule of like phases, and like during that very initial phase where I'm just starting to think about something, soak it all in. Look at everything. What's
Right.
out there? Who's done a similar thing? Okay, what do they do? How is that? Okay, great. But at a certain point, you've ingested enough, you shut that shit down.
100%.
Or you're just gonna psych yourself out, especially like in the middle of something, and then you go and look at something else, and you're like, oh, my splash page isn't quite what their splash page is, and you
Right.
haven't even finished it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just it's death.
Yeah.
It's death.
Yeah.
And you do it to yourself.
100%.
Yeah, I've experienced that for sure. That's why my rules are in place now.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
have
only
to have
way.
you have to have a set of rules and a set of things you focus on and follow, because otherwise you're just gonna either get discouraged or you're gonna find a reason not to do something.
Totally. I know there's all kinds of reasons not to do something.
Oh, yeah.
You got to commit to the reason that they
100%.
have to do that thing,
Yeah.
You know.
100%.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But that was another tangent. What I was saying, that there's an artist, a different artist that moved away from the area, and he was doing art, like sketchbooks, art books, whatever you want to call them, small format, like comic book ish size, a little smaller.
Like an ash can.
Not quite that small. So like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
almost full comic size.
Huh. Interesting choice.
And premium paper, premium prints, like good print quality, color, everything. $50 a pop.
Whoa.
And he was doing like nude variants and shit. And I distanced myself from him because I was supporting him on Patreon for a while, but then it was like the stuff that he was offering nothing but visibility at the higher tiers.
What do you mean by
At $10 a month, I was getting to see a few posts, and it was like some maybe not finished pieces.
Okay.
At $25 a month, you could see the finished pieces, and you could like download them.
Okay.
But I'm like, $25 a month, and you're not sending a printout once a year. Like even if it was once a year, once a quarter, print, just a print, one single $2
that's my
print.
default actually. When
Dude.
I fucked up for the year on Patreon, I count up what everybody contributed. I'm like, here, have some shit.
Yeah, man, because it's crazy.
I mean,
Like,
sometimes shit happens. But
I
you gotta make
literally,
good on it.
I have never once thought like
I'm pretty sure I owe you.
I contribute I contribute to you because I believe in what you're doing. I believe in your fucking process. I believe with the shit you're going to be making. I have never once thought about the money I'm putting in that. Never fucking once. So when like once in a while like shit just shows up, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I had no thought, no expectation.
Well, I don't make many promises either, though. I
Like-
think that's kind of important.
But like
Promise
legitimately,
something.
I don't think I've actually been on Patreon and looked at shit like
You
ever.
probably missed a bunch of shit.
Probably. Like,
that's fine.
but like I'm like the stuff that you share on Twitter, on Facebook, that kind of stuff, I follow that. That's where I consume it. To me, that's the product of
Sure.
of that support.
Totally.
Like you being able to do that shit.
Totally.
That's
And
it.
it genuinely helps. Like I actually just had a thing recently where my Patreon money helped me pay for a subscription to something that I needed. Like,
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So like to
what
me,
it's all for.
like just being able to partake in that. Whereas like this dude was, let's say, let's pick a fucking piece of art. So like this page that you're working on. So he would take like the right side of her face on that panel and like the beginning of the gun, and that would be a thing he would share on Instagram, and that's all you could see of the art unless you were at the $25 or whatever tier. And I'm like, you're sharing nothing.
Yeah.
You're sharing a snippet of a thing. I don't even know if you've got a page. I don't know if you've got a whole book or whatever. But you're not going to give me that unless I'm giving you $50, $100 a month.
Yeah. Huh.
And it's like, it was, dude, seriously, at $100 a month, you could get one print every quarter.
Wow.
I was like 100.
Was it at least like a limited run print, or was it just like?
I mean, I think it was a limited run print, but it's $100 for $300.
Like almost, that's like.
I'm paying your rent, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like.
That's professional level, you know.
And he is. He's like doing shit. He's doing shit.
Okay.
He's working
Alright.
for a bunch of companies. I'm not saying he shouldn't get paid what he should get paid
Right.
when he's working for those people.
Right.
Like 100%. When he's working for Marvel, when he's working for DC, whoever the fuck,
Right.
they should pay him his going rate.
Right.
Whatever
Your
that is,
perspective
he
from
can
the
get that money.
audience's perspective.
But like, if you want me to contribute.
Right. It's a little different. It's
Because
more
I
about
see people
community
who are, I would say, as good as him, if not even better in some aspects. And at $12 a month, you get a fucking personal download, a fucking wallpaper, like a custom wallpaper every month.
Wow.
They make one for your shit.
Yeah.
I told him when he was showing me, like, that he was supporting the guy, and then he was showing me what he was offering per tier, and I was like, I've seen way more Patreons that actually give you something.
Yeah.
And it's not about getting something in return, because like he said, getting something in return is the art that you do and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's the
But it's
thing, like,
supposed
this
to
guy
be.
already gets paid to do art.
Right.
So like,
Yeah, it's not like he was hurting for
he's
money.
not hurting for money. He's working with big companies to make the art
Yeah.
that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
They're
And
like
he-
headlining him at their booths. Like,
Yeah, so like,
Patreon's a tricky thing, man. I've been trying to wrap my head around it too, because it is about building community, you know. And a lot of artists struggle with how to, you know, what to do and how to do it. That sounds kind of a little maybe disingenuous to me.
Yeah, 100%,
You know?
100%.
My problem with Patreon has always been what to offer, you know, because like doing anything else than the art is kind of going out of your way. In the
Oh
first
yeah, no, it
Yeah.
has to be. It
Yeah.
has to be something that you do.
right. It's
So,
gotta almost be
whatever-
like I've already done
Yeah.
this.
So
Yeah.
whatever it
Put
is that you can, that makes sense to offer without taking away the fact that like the money is helping you
right.
provide already what you're trying to provide,
Yeah.
but still able to give a little more than that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it goes into. Where he was legitimately just like, I just need more money to be able to live a easier life
Right.
instead of where
Yeah.
You know, he's
you're
pulling-
you're getting
Trying to
supported
Like, he's
right,
pulling
you're getting
1,500
supported to
cover.
be able to do that.
Yeah, I put everything
Where
right
he-
back in.
where
It's
he
helped
was
so many times.
just making the
Yeah,
money
build
to
back
just
up.
have an easier life so you can eat
Right.
fancier food and,
Right.
and stuff like
Okay.
that. Where you're getting supported to literally do this.
What I
To
was
make
right,
sense
that's the
of why I
difference.
do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
The one on the subject of like sketchbooks and shit like that. The one suggestion I would maybe put out is, and this is because I'm pretty sure you know who Angel Medina is.
I was like, you're gonna get it.
I was gonna fuck it up again.
Valentina.
He was on Spawn for a long time. I would even venture to say, unless you have a newer one.
Is he? You say that.
If
and
you
the-
have a newer
the
one, I'm
only
like
thing in
looking
my
at Spawn
mind
covers.
Is Funky Cold Medina right now. That's the only thing in my mind. I'm drawing a blank. At what point in Spawn was it? After the Doomsday Clock?
I couldn't possibly
If
answer
it
that
was
question.
after the Doomsday Clock, I really didn't read much of Spawn after that. I was
I
all
don't
about.
see it.
I mean,
He
Cthulhu was
did.
on for
He
a long
did.
time.
He did do Spider-Man as well.
Okay.
He did Spider-Man for a long time for Marvel. He
Okay.
did a bunch of cosmic stuff for Marvel in the '90s.
I might know him by
He's
his
been-
work.
I'm sure you do.
I-
I'm very
my
confident. that
brain
you
is
do.
full of artists.
But anyway, so like he what he does is he has a bunch of his process stuff just on like single sheets. And like original, like he sketches out a Spider-Man piece, or like
okay.
he prints out a piece that he sketched and then he adds shit to it.
Huh.
And like I just bought like 3 pieces from him from like $9 or whatever, $3 a pop.
Interesting.
And it was very much just like he had printed out a Spawn piece that he had already done,
Yeah.
and then he drew the angel wings on it.
Huh.
And like that was a sketch he did, and that was what I bought. And I was like, this fucking gangster, like fucking love it.
Huh.
And
So
it's
he printed out.
yeah, so it's like he like does like layered shit. So he'll do like a perspective piece, and like he'll just do all the line work for the perspective, and then he'll print that, and then he'll draw the Spider-Man on top of it.
You gotta send me some links. That sounds genius.
For sure, I'm saying, it's cheap shit for him. It's shit he's already working
Yeah,
on.
I mean, a lot of the hardest part about any of this is the building up to the actual drawing.
Right, exactly.
Unless you're like Kim, why can't I remember his name recently? Gi. Is it Kim Jong Gi?
No idea what you're talking
The Korean guy, he draws straight out of his head, like amazing perspective, fisheye perspective.
Oh, that's
no
crazy.
guidelines.
Get
nothing.
outta here.
He starts with like a boot, and then draws the rest of the leg, and then draws the head, and it's perfect. There's nothing fucking wrong with it. He's
That's
wow, that's insane.
That's a
crazy.
robot. He's a printer.
Oh,
That is a
no,
robot.
it's beautiful stuff.
That's
too,
incredible,
man.
dude.
But anyways, yeah, unless you're like him, there's some construction work to be done. There's
That's
some-
what I'm saying.
100%,
But that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So that's the
Takes
kind of
a long
shit.
time.
I'm like, if you, because I'm looking at your sketchbook again, and I'm like, if you like while you're doing this shit, you do a study on a few pieces of paper,
Right.
and that's a thing you like. That's at a tier. That's what you send us people, or even just like
No, these are good
here's
ideas.
a digital sheet of roughs that I did this week.
Yeah,
Check it out, and like it could be a
Idea.
wallpaper.
that is a really good idea.
And just like stuff like that. Like I don't know. It's because you said like a big part of it is not going out of your way to create
Right.
extra shit
Right.
for stuff that like it's just going to distract you from your end goal.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
'Cause-
Because my biggest focus, I think, moving forward on Patreon or anything in general is like a one project at a time kind of
100%.
attitude.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And with Sisyphine Complex coming up, my mind is thinking in terms of like how can I make the comic and make the art book kind of thing. And there's a fuck ton of studies that I got to do too. I'm putting a lot of influences into it. So that's a great idea. That's
Yeah.
something that while I'm doing these studies to try to learn these things, I could create wallpapers.
Oh,
and
yeah,
things
absolutely.
Like that of
Yeah.
those studies, things that have led.
Yeah, I mean,
And
whatever.
just like throw some line work behind it or grid or
Yeah. I mean, it's all
Simple
like
shit, like-
quick stuff, but
Yeah.
it ends up being things that maybe people would like the one on the right. over here, the longer one.
Yeah.
That's like an Otto Schmidt study. That was like maybe an
Yeah.
hour or two.
Yeah, and that's dope. That's dope, and like that'd be an awesome wallpaper. That'd be an awesome phone wallpaper.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you could post that up on fucking Patreon tonight.
Yeah.
And be like, formatted 1920 1080. Boom, here's your phone wallpaper.
I probably wouldn't share stuff like that because that's like I was directly copying an Otto Schmidt piece, trying to get a feel for like how he did
I see what
it.
you're saying.
But I got a lot of stuff like that where I'm studying
Yeah.
periods of art or you know movements of art and stuff, and so that would be less like you know.
Yo, man, do some Art Deco shit. I fucking love Art Deco, like framed shit.
Man,
Or is that
Art
Baroque?
Deco's pretty cool.
Is that Baroque? Mucha. That's my shit. There's Iron Man covers and Wolverine covers that were done in the Alphonse Mucha style. I fucking love that shit, dude. Where it's just like you have like a white border, but it's like inside curls and shit.
Yeah, like Art Nouveau.
Nouveau, that's the one. Yeah, I
Art
have a whole
Deco's
fucking
closer to like Bauhaus kind of stuff.
Yeah.
More rigid and
lines,
circles and lines. Yeah, Bauhaus stuff I love too. But there's like I don't know, it's got a different feel to it.
For sure.
But Nouveau, man, yeah, that's tricky. That's seriously
like
elegant, delicate kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Like some of the coolest.
I think of fantasy when I see
when
it.
they 100%. When they brought Angela into the Marvel universe, some of the first covers they did were all Art.
Oh yeah,
like
big, and that fits the character.
Yeah. That was such a. I read that how they built her in, like knowing her out of Spawn and how they like forced her into the. It wasn't bad. They essentially were just like, oh yeah, this whole time there weren't 9 realms, there were 10. The 10th one is angels. Let's move on with our lives.
There you go. That's funny.
But that's gonna be it for this one. We're approaching 3 fucking hours.
Oh wow!
I might even cut this up into a couple episodes. We'll see.
One episode.
No, one episode. Fuck it. Let's do it for the hardcore motherfuckers.
That's right.
Again, I'm gonna do this again. If you are this deep, if you are 2 hours and 45 minutes in. Drop a comment and drop us an Instagram DM. Our code word is going to be Art Nouveau. You're going to get a $5.
You're gonna have to figure out how to spell that.
I can accept a general spelling, but we'll do a $5 Amazon gift card. Anybody that makes it this far, I'll do it. We'll start getting bigger. If we get.
I was like, I know. I'm just gonna hold on. Give me a second, real quick. I'm gonna message.
But that's gonna be.
I got this far.
Thank you guys for watching all these fucking angles and failed cameras and shit. This thing is the worst one of them, and it's dead. It's garbage quality, but it's still alive.
Oh, that one's dead too.
That one's been dead. Yeah, that's we're down to 1. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you in the next one.
Now get out of here, you punk kids.